live.
No, you're everybody has access to it. I
And
see
that
them.
is the right thing. Yeah. Okay.
I don't see Edward on here,
No,
but
he wouldn't. I gave it to Laura and
oh,
Adam.
okay, cool.
Hi guys. I know we're talking over everybody. It's like ridiculous. So as people are coming in, let me
And in
just
the distance, the church bell
I
Oh,
know.
rings for someone.
yeah.
Well, it was better than when it was my cell phone, like going bing, bing, bing. Hello, everyone. We're finally getting the chat to run on the actual screen. So people, if you're on Facebook or if you're on Twitch or if you're on YouTube, can see everything. Yes, happy Saturday, Wraith Rangers. Indeed. It started.
It has begun.
I know exactly. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. So, okay. What I was trying to do, which is really ironic, but this will lead us into our first thing in a minute. Is Adam, Edward, I know that Hannah's going to be late. Is anyone else going to be able to come today?
This I have no idea.
Yeah, I'll let the producer do that. I'm just an actor. I'm not real bright, but I can lift heavy things.
Yeah, I'm very proud I've gotten myself here today, and that's about all I can say.
I am too. I am too. Yeah,
And I'm even wearing pants, so there you go.
Well, speak for yourself.
Why?
Well, mine are pajama pants. I don't know if that counts.
It does. It counts.
Yeah.
So people, are you all in pajama pants? Or are you actually in clothes? I'm looking for you out in the chat to let us know whether you're more together than we are. It's like, good Lord. Okay, just a second here. So is everybody shuffling in? I'm going to actually be asking Edward a brief question.
Oh God.
You probably didn't get a chance to see it because there's been technology different.
I'll just make sure I have a drink here.
I know. Right. It's a little bit early for alcohol, but maybe
I'm
not.
sorry. You can drink at church before this. That's fine. There we go.
It's exactly. Oh, there's Bruno. Bruno. Hello. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
And we can hear you.
Bruno.
This is working.
Lovely.
This is way working. Yeah, I flew almost like it's Saturday. Of course I'm in my PJs. Like, God knows.
And weirdo number 7, you are correct. It's past midday somewhere in the world.
Oh, God, yes. It doesn't even have to be. I mean, brunch is an excuse, or even breakfast is an excuse to have something alcoholic. Although I just got a Diet Coke because I was up very late writing Everdark Academy last night and didn't get to bed until like 5. So that's why I'm a little bit out of it this morning. Nice. Because pathetically, I thought, oh, I can just get up at the last minute to do this because I'll be fine. Whoops. Yeah, we'll see how. Oh my God. Hold on one second here. All right. So everyone is saying hello. We're getting all in. So what we are going to do today is going to be really fun. And I hope it's really fun. It's always really fun because you guys make it really fun. But the first things we're going to do is for everyone to just introduce themselves, especially since even though many here on the chat already know exactly who you are and who you play, there will be some who do not. So I'm hoping that we can do this. And let me just see if we can. Yeah, at least we can get you live here. All right. So, Adam, let's start with you.
Sure. My name is Adam Riley, and I play Julian Harrow and Christian Thorne, and various other vampires and other characters that pop up from time to time.
And Edward, though you need no introduction, I am introducing you.
Good morning. I'm Edward, and I play Balthazar and Damon, and I narrate.
Most excellent. And Bruno, who do you play?
Hey, everybody. Good morning. I'm Bruno, and I play K-Morn.
Yes. And we've got Hannah with us. So, Hannah, who do you play? And we don't have her yet. Like audio, I don't think. We can't hear you yet. So we'll just wait. But Hannah plays many of the characters. She plays Sophia Strange. She plays our wonderful Fiona Darksilver and a bunch of others. So as soon as she's getting her stuff, we'll know if she's gone again. No, we've lost her. Oh, I know. Full Moon Witch says hi, Hannah. Possibly, yeah, not quite yet. She's coming. So everyone's yay, and obviously I am Raythe, and I am the writer, and you're the host for today, and the big hot mess for today. So this is going to be just brilliant. It's going to be just brilliant. So what I was talking to the guys about before when we got on, and you were like, probably like, what the heck are they talking about? We put out the first volume of an Everdark manga called War Child. Kat, could you put a link in the chat so that they can Hannah, you're here. Good. We can't hear you yet, but hopefully we'll be able to do so. So
I didn't want to interrupt you.
oh, you're the best. No,
There she
interrupt me. Go ahead. Do it, baby. And I'm going to actually show this on the screen. So what I've been trying to do is actually make sure that I can share this link. And I think the issue is it's because it's under Cat as an ownership through Google Drive. And this is really annoying with the actors. So they had a copy and it's huge. And no matter what I've done, it doesn't seem to work beyond them seeing the actual cover, which is fascinating. So they're going to be seeing this when you guys are seeing this. Now everyone has access according to Google, but we will see. We'll fix that. I think, Kat, I need you to share it yourself if you haven't already, but I don't know. You have to make me an editor. You put it in Dropbox too. That's probably good. That'll be good because it's not working. It's not working. Oh, check the private chat, Kat, to see if that can happen. It's huge. So anyway, what I want to show you guys today before we begin is some of the images from that. And the actors are going to see it for the first time. Sure. Here we go. So here's the cover. Here, I got to get rid of the caption just for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
find it
right.
from the stream. Yes. So that is the first one. So to give you an idea of exactly what this is, guys, it's set 2 years before the events in Everdark. So this is pre-Everdark. And Julie and Christian are monster hunters. They're on the track of what they think is a werewolf in Cold Haven, Wisconsin. What they don't know is that this is a Warren Warchild, a vampire who can shapeshift into animals and who always kills his prey. Vampire Lord Balthazar and Vampire Confessor Arceus, who care deeply about our two intrepid adventurers, want to stop Julie and Christian from finding the Warren Warchild, because if they find out that vampires are real, all hell will break loose. Indeed, Vampire Preceptor Kamorn and Vampire Confessor Fiona have already been tasked by Master Vampire Artemis to kill the young men if they discover the truth. And this is the first volume in this multi-volume work that's coming up. So that's the cover. And here we go. So let's check out some of the images from it. So Adam, here is T-Wolf's versions of Balthazar and Christian. So this is
cool.
I know.
They're amazing. I was like marveling at their wardrobes because I had really only seen the cover yesterday just through technical error. But yeah, I wish I dressed as cool as Christian. Or
I
had
know,
as good of
right?
hair. My God, both of them have amazing hair.
Christian's hair is the best, and he always looks like almost angelic because
Truly.
we often see him through Balthazar's eyes, which is like, I'm going to try to locate an image that I love when basically like Balthazar sees Christian for the first time. And it's like, woo, well, not the first time, he's stalking them. He is their beloved stalker. So let's see. Okay. Another image from it is here we have Arceus and here we have Balthazar. And Balthazar too has quite the wardrobe, Edward.
But of course.
Of course.
And excellent hair.
And excellent hair. So I love how she does Arceus, especially in this. And when you see Fiona, he looks amazing. Amazing. Hold on one second here. One of the things that sort of shocks me about how lucky I am to have, I mean, everyone sees a lot more Matthia's art, but T-Wolf's art, I don't know how she I give her the worst descriptions ever of a place. And I say, make that. And somehow she makes it so that the characters just embody who they are in the story, but some of the actual places. So here is the spire she did in Everdark. So this is in Solace. So she just, I gave her like 2 lines of description and she really just knocked it out of the park. You can see the spire, you can see the forest and the Everdark, you see the twin moons. So it's a really cool. Let's see here. Here's K-Morn. Bruno, what do you think of K-Morn's K-Morn in this?
He's got an Aryan vibe to him, but
You know?
Oh yeah. He's got
yeah, you don't
certain
want
eyes.
to mess with him.
Oh, I
No.
don't know. I think the eyeliner is fabulous.
Look rich.
Absolutely. Do not mess with a man who pulls eyeliner off that well.
So, although for those of you who are maybe just listening on the Everdark podcast, K-Morn and Balthazar are still at odds, and they are in this thing too. But it's interesting for those who maybe have been reading along with Everdark Academy to know where they are. But we won't go there because we're not going to actually spoil things. But this will give you peak K-Morn versus Balthazar going after one another because they both have something that they want in saving the boys, which is interesting. So here is Fiona. Hannah, what do you think about Fiona? Just her version in this. Uh-oh. Do we lose Fiona? Oh, do we lose Hannah again? I think we may have. Anyway, this is Fiona, which I thought was fabulous. Kat told me as well that she couldn't believe how good Fiona looked in this. And I agree.
She's fantastic.
She really is.
God, I love talented people.
I know exactly. I want to show, hold on 1 second. I want to show because there is this one image of, oh God, Balthazar, and I should have done this earlier and I did not. So this is just how this goes. Okay, hold on 1 second. We have to see it. So one of the things, T-Wolf is just, she's so spectacularly good. She was trained formally as a mangaka by a Japanese sensei to do this. So I really feel so honored that she will, how shall I say it, like work with us, because I can't get over that somebody of her talent is just doing this. Okay, we're getting Hannah back. You just I totally get you. It's all, can you hear us, Hannah? Can you speak back to us? Not yet. Okay, we're gonna just
Sorry, I'm back. My Bluetooth has just gone mad and it's connected to everything that I want it to connect to except what I need it to connect to.
I always love that. What do you think of Fiona's for the Fiona version of Fiona here?
Oh my God, she's stunning. I love her. I love her so much. I think she's perfect.
Yeah, I know she just is.
Like
Here,
in my head, that's exactly how I picture her.
I know, right? I mean, it's just like, good God. Good God. And I was just explaining to everybody that I give her like the worst descriptions of these characters and places, and somehow, wait, I have to, and I shouldn't be sharing all of this, but it is over 117 pages. So I'm just going to wait. There's one other one I want to show of Fiona and Arceus meeting up so we can see some of the love. She actually really interpreted the love. It was just great. But no, I can't find it now because everyone's waiting for it. Oh, there it is. So it is right now in the shop, can be purchased. And let's see. Hold on. So here's another one of, guess who? Christian and Balthazar. But we all know that that's in Balthazar's head because it
I was
can't
gonna
have
say,
happened yet, right?
goodness.
So
No.
Christian's never looked so subservient before.
this is totally Balthazar's dream. Let's put it this way.
Well, we make our dreams a reality.
He is loving this. And I think that where is Fiona's? Where is that? Oh, there it is. Okay, I did get it. Okay. One thing I absolutely loved is how she made Fiona and Arceus look at one another in that bottom panel. Where they're like, she's like, Arceus, because she is so like cool and collected. And then she is totally and utterly not when they see one another. But
There's a lot of product going on there, Arceus, for a man who pretends he doesn't care about his appearance.
No,
Yeah.
he's a holy man. What's going on
Yeah,
here?
just fell out of bed like this. Blessed.
So here we go. And this is, I just love, here is Balthazar, because he basically came over and said, what the hell are you doing here? And he's like, oh, we're out to the wilds of Wisconsin. He's like, hello. And came over.
Yes, Raythe, I need to ask right now, why Wisconsin?
Why?
I mean, why
Because,
not? Sure, but
why
the
not?
cheese, what? I mean,
Well, I'm in Illinois, so Wisconsin is where we go and think of the wilds, which is not really the wild. Like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I know it's not very like it's like the wilds of Canada. I mean, that would be something. But Wisconsin I always associate Wisconsin with werewolves. I don't know why. I just do. There
fair
is
enough.
something in there that comes up here. So once again, hold on, let me just put that there. That one is just, yeah, that's the seller, guys. You got to forgive me, man. You've got to forgive me. Hold on. And I just want to
A little
once again
vacation
show
in
this.
Wisconsin. Well, why
Little
not?
Exactly. It's true. It is true. Yes. So it is right now in our shop at this link. It's for $10.95. It's approximately 117, 118 pages. It is volume 1, and you will be very frustrated where it leaves off. I will tell you that right now, because when I got to the end, like I kept pressing the forward button, and I'm like, why is there no more? I don't understand. Oh, it's because this is the end of the volume. So it's really and truly, I think it's T Wolf's best work. I mean, and I love her work. I think that she elevates me. We call it the third artist, which is, I don't know. I know this sounds really highfalutin, but I think this is true also of Edward and all the actors. It's when you bring in other artists to interpret your work. So when you have somebody draw your work, when you have somebody read aloud your work, it's not reading, it's act aloud your work. When you make an anime of your work, when you have a live action version of your work, it's called like the idea, whatever's created is like the third artist. It's something that's beyond the two of you. It's almost like it becomes some kind of basically like amalgamation of you and them. And I really feel that very strongly, obviously with the audio work, but very strongly with the manga. I feel that T Wolf and Mathia make the work so much more, make these characters come alive. So, in any event, I really hope that if you can, you can check it out another time. For members, it will start rolling on wraithrain.com as part of your membership after the Werewolves Next Door ends. So it will go. And I know I will get this question. What about the Data Vampire 3, which is another manga we're doing? Mathia draws Data Vampire 3. And as you've seen from the amount of work that she's been doing for us, in all honesty, I haven't had time for her to go back to do that, because it takes, and this is something, just so you know, the next volume of this will likely take 5 or 6 months. It's takes that long to draw this kind of stuff. So that's why it's just a very, very long process. And which is like, it bums me out no end, because I'm like, why? I want to see it, I want to see it like now. But it does take a long time. So if you are, just so you understand how long that will go, but it is coming. And I want to show you one other thing that is Everdark related that the actors have not seen either. Hannah, this is especially for you. Okay.
I am here. I'm
You're
just trying to sort some stuff out for Vanessa, who's got some technical issues.
Don't worry. I understand. We have everything is happening, man. Okay. So just here we go. Here is Sophia.
Oh,
Sophia.
cool.
I know.
Very cool.
Oh my god, I love her. She looks like a goth princess.
She totally looks like a goth princess, right? It's like insane. It is insane. So Mathia was given just we're like, she made her far more serious, because she felt, even though we all know the anime, that Sophia's like bright anime eyes and like, all this kind of stuff. And the reason why she did this was because to give the impression of her true nature, her true self. So, which is true. She's very actually old, and she's very serious when she's, you don't want to meet her in a dark alley, essentially. So, yeah, so that will be coming up. We'll be putting this art and using it later. There's a bunch of new art that's coming. Oh, let me give you the, wait. It's like I seriously have got to stop doing this, but I have to keep showing more art before we actually get to the work we're talking to everybody.
No, this is great. Just sit back and look at this amazing work.
Now, don't these look like hair models? It's
I was
Christian
going to say, it's all about the hair.
It's all
That's
about
some
the
good
hair.
It
fan
is
work.
the hair. It's true.
That will be the cover
Oh,
of
yeah.
volume.
Fabia's got
5.
nothing.
I was going to say that looks exactly like Fabio.
Oh,
Yeah.
how dare you, sir? How dare you?
Christian especially looks very like coquettish, I guess is the word.
Don't you wish your boyfriend was hot like mine?
Yeah, like woohoo. He's like, and he's like rather possessive of Balthazar there. He's like, yeah. So that will be the cover of volume 5, which we're
I
getting
think,
together.
where is his left hand?
Oh,
Mm,
we cannot speak of that on YouTube.
I think that's a surprise. Look at the
It
look
is-
on Balthazar's face.
it's a
Oh my.
surprise.
A lot of
my.
Pantene commercial comments. I had the same thought. Got
Yeah.
shampoo vibes.
Well, when I changed Balthazar from dark hair to a blondie, people were like, "Oh, I always think of him with dark hair." And I'm like, "I don't know. I've always thought of him as a blonde." But I think he could look like anything. But now I just realized he and Christian look a little bit like twins, because they've got the same blonde hair there going on. Like, good Lord.
Well, they can dye it. I mean, that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if he wants to be taken seriously.
Couples start to look more like each other the longer they're together anyway.
And then they adopt a dog that also looks
Exactly like them. So it would be
Yeah.
one of those long-haired dogs. It's like the blonde,
Completely.
you can't see the eyes. They have the bow and everything like
that
that.
knows it's beautiful. Yeah.
It knows. It
Mm.
knows it's beautiful.
And sits on the couch even though it knows it's not supposed to. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. They would have a dog that would roll over them. They really, but we know they have a cat. They have at least Meffy, who comes in later on. So
No
that's
spoilers yet.
No, God, you're right. You're right.
But
Yeah,
the
and you're right.
truth
Pouty
finds out that
lips
they already know.
there.
Okay.
Kiss those lips. It's totally. He gives me blonde golden retriever vibes a little bit. Good Lord. That's so true. I imagine Balthazar being a dirty blonde. Well, he is definitely dirty. We know that much.
Only if you're a good boy.
Right, exactly. Like, oh. Okay, so you do have a cat named Neffy. It's Mephistopheles, but Neffy is adorable, and I think I will wonder if my cat's going to come on stream again this day. We will see. Oh, good.
I just
Lord.
want to let everyone know that I recorded my own cat to play Methy's voice, and then forced Edward to read her name in the credits
No.
so that she's appropriately credited
That is
Amazing.
for
fantastic.
her work.
Vanessa, can you hear us? And let's see if we can hear you. Oh, we can't hear her. I don't think quite yet. Bummer. Yeah, we can't hear Vanessa.
She'll get it. She's been struggling with some of the some tech stuff, and I just sent her. Kat and I just sent her new links, and hopefully she'll be able to sort out the sound.
All right. Well, cool. I've at least given her permission to be a part, so this will be really good.
I did tell her that we would sit in silence until she was able to get online, so that she better hurry.
Excellent. Not to make things awkward or have her start sweating here. Well, when she does get on, is she basically oh wait, your kitty's name. What is the name of our newest cast member, Hannah?
Her name is Hecuba Penny Biscuits.
Oh, Penny
and that
Biscuits.
Penny Biscuits is hyphenated. And Hecuba is almost 22 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's I adopted her when she was 18, and they told me she was going to die within 3 months. But I said, well, I'll take her home. No old cat should be at the SPCA.
No.
For their last moments. So I brought her home, and she outlived my other 2 cats. And now she's a going concern.
Oh, that is so awesome. It is an old kitty. You know, Mew is only, I think she's 15 years old, and she's starting. It's funny. She went from I've got her on wet food, and I know we're not going to discuss cats. I'm sorry. Got her on wet food.
I could talk about cats all day.
I know. I started her on wet food from dry, and so she's lost a lot of weight. So now she looks sort of ragged. I'm like, ooh. So she's looking more her age now, and I'm like, but she's acting more like a kitten. My heart will break when she goes over the Rainbow Bridge, but I am planning on getting 2 more cats, 2 more older cats, so that I can give them homes. So.
You know, when I picked up Hecuba from the SPCA, I already had 2 senior cats, and I was so glad I had her in the end, because when I lost my other 2 who I'd had since they were just baby kittens, I still had Hecuba to look after. So, you know, there was that, like, I was able, I wasn't, I mean, yes, I was very sad, very depressed. But I still had Hecuba, which gave me sort of a lot of reason to just sort of keep going and make sure she's okay. And a lot of good energy from that old cat.
Oh, yes. You know, I got Mew the day after, less than 24 hours after Vaughn died. And it was, I tell you, it was really a good move. And now I'm like definitely gonna get 2, so that she would shred another cat right now. That's what she is. But yeah, so but we'll see. We'll see how this all goes for her if I'm moving into a new big house in about a year, as you know, and
Yes.
I'm really realizing that, like, maybe it's big enough for her to not shred them. That might happen.
We could hope.
That'll be quite something as I go on my route to become a true cat mom extraordinaire. Okay, now that I've totally derailed us for the entirety of the beginning of the stream with showing you all these images of stuff, I did want to say what we are going to do today. It's really, really shocking. So we are going to, obviously, they've introduced themselves. You know, as soon as Vanessa got on, she'll introduce herself as well. I've talked to you ad nauseum about the Everdark manga, which again can be picked up right now. And we are so grateful, you guys, that you can support us by showing up, you know, simply by showing up, simply by making a comment. If you purchase anything in shop, it's amazing. If you become a member, that's so fantastic. We really and truly thank you for everything you guys do, and all this kind of good stuff. Wait, I think Vanessa, can you hear us? Can you speak?
I can. Yes, I hear you. I hear you.
Excellent. Excellent. Vanessa, would you just introduce yourself to the stream?
Hello. Hello. I am Vanessa Porter, IT expert and also Professor Rajani, speaking to you from my tiny telephone device.
Oh,
because
God.
Oh, really?
2 computers have decided to hate me for no reason today.
Just a classic Saturday morning.
It
here.
really is.
Right, but I'm
Really?
totally relaxed.
Really is.
And yeah.
Oh my God. Well, we've been talking about pets, Vanessa. So yes, yes, this is truly an Everdark stream where everything is going according to plan. So everyone is now on that we're expecting. God knows there might be someone else. So
Mine
we
is
all
here.
oh, wait, what?
I think Jay's going to join us a little bit later.
Great, because I want to see his reaction to Arceus.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. By the
Mhm.
way, Jay is going to be a big star in volume 3 of Everdark. But we will just leave that to the side right now. As will Verjani, by the way, Vanessa. Because it's more the political spy thriller version next that's coming up. So there we're gonna go there. Okay. So we are doing today questions that we've already gotten in, obviously questions from the chat for any of the actors and all this stuff. We are also doing giveaways. I am doing giveaways of Everdark Volume 4 audiobook. How this will work is very simple. I will tell you, say something in the chat, some particular word, you put that in the chat, and then like randomly, the system will actually choose a person. It's not who does it first, who does it second, who does it fifth. It just randomly chooses someone who's put that word in the chat, and it will alert us to someone having won. We will ask you to reach out to us, I think, to give us your email. We will give you a code for the shop, and you will be able to have your very own copy of Everdark Volume 4 audiobook, which is spectacular. So that is something that, you know, it will be completely unedited, meaning that not edited. That sounds wrong. It's completely edited and mastered, but it will not be edited for content. Yeah, it's not the raw stuff like me with my cat in
Censored?
the background.
No.
No. You will be able to enjoy that and have that. And so we love doing this. We're going to try to do 4 of them. As soon as I tell you the rest of this, we're actually going to do something with that. We are then also going to do this game called Wise and Otherwise, which I am hopeful will work. We will see if it will work. And I encourage everyone in the chat to play because really it lends itself to stupidity. I mean, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be fun. It's going to be excellent. All right. So we are going to do our first giveaway. I would like people to put the word bunny in the chat. Put the word bunny, like the animal, in the chat.
Now copy and paste. How
Copy.
many times can I go wrong?
Put the word bunny in there. It'll
Bunny.
be great. Bunny.
Bunny.
I know exactly. Bunny.
Bunny. There's bunny, and the bunnies are going. Look at them all.
Exactly. The bunnies are
Bunny,
coming.
bunny, bunny, bunny,
boy.
bunny, bunny, bunny. I love it.
I know. It's so fun.
Cersei.
Oh.
Cersei.
Oh.
Bunny.
Bunny.
I've got an
Bunny,
image
bunny,
now of a
bunny,
wolf
bunny.
with a bunny headgear on.
So, Kat, will it just automatically do it? Edward's after winning again. And no
Whatever it
winning
takes.
Edward.
Oh,
I know, Nest, you have a bunny, which is awesome.
bunnies
Okay,
are amazing pets. Oh, except for the
Miles
chewing.
Irvin,
Oh,
you won the giveaway. You won this first giveaway. We're going to do 4
Miles,
of them.
congratulations.
Woo-hoo-hoo, Miles. So make sure reach out to Kat at Kat. It is hold on one second. Let me just make sure that I actually know what I'm supposed to tell them to do. Will it tell him what to do, or does he reach out to marketing@raytherain.com? And hopefully she'll put it in the private chat to tell me what the hell we're supposed to do. Applause for Miles. Absolutely. Applause for Miles. This is Fantastic. So don't worry if you didn't have a chance to win this time. There's still 3 more chances. So all this kind of stuff. So I do not see Kat responding to me. So I assume that this is going to work. Don't worry, Miles. We will reach out to you if there we go. So it is to reach out to marketing@raytherain.com. Sorry. Kat's like, sorry, I'm in the country, which means that her internet is hugely delayed, which is just like good fun. So, okay, Miles, please reach out to marketing@Raythe with your email that you want to use to be able to access the shop to download your free copy of Everdark Volume 4. Okay, so we are actually going to go on to the first questions that we received prior to this chat happening. But you can ask questions obviously in the chat too of the actors, of me, and it can be about anything. It can be about Everdark, it can be about voice acting. We get a lot of people asking the actors about that, and also just their careers. Obviously, people may choose not to answer, which is totally okay. Just know, because I know they can be a little saucy questions sometimes, so don't even worry about that. So, but we are going to ask. So this is the first question we've gotten, and I actually was asked this before, and I was so annoyed with my answer because it wasn't the answer that I actually meant. But here's the question. So this is from Mr. Jeffrey Ryan from YouTube. He said, I would absolutely love to hear in the next podcast who you would cast as the main characters in Everdark and Everdark Academy. You cannot leave out Ryder and Grayson. I have my ideas and people who I kind of visualize, but I would love to know who you would cast. First of all, I would actually cast the people who are cast as the voice actors for those characters. However, Edward can't play Damon and Balthazar and the thing. And so I think he should play Balthazar. And Adam can't play both Christian and Julian. He has to pick one. And I think he should play Christian personally, because I think he aligns with them. But I would use the actors that we already have. But for those other people that you can't play, guys, and you may know this more, I'm thinking if you're looking at this sort of a professional thing, like who would you guys choose to pick Damon? If you could pick any actor in the universe, Edward, who do you think should play Damon? If you're good playing Balthazar, because I see you as Balthazar, although I see you as Damon too, but I really feel like you have an affinity for Balthazar. So assuming you wanted to play Balthazar and not Damon, who would you choose if you can think of anyone?
I
know,
God,
right?
casting. It is one of the hardest things to do, honestly, Raythe.
I
When
know.
you put together a project, can we all tell I'm trying to buy time here?
Mhm.
Putting together the
Yes, we can.
perfect cast. I don't know. I really don't know, because we've got
Probably
size and beauty and charisma and
I know.
Henry
I
Cavill.
Yes, I was
No.
thinking Henry Cavill.
no.
What about Idris Elba?
Oh
I
yeah.
was actually thinking Idris Elba too.
Oh
Totally.
yeah, he could
Yeah.
totally do that because he's got
I
that
don't think
presence.
Henry Cavill is butch enough. I don't think he's manly enough.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just think that Henry Cavill when he smolders works, but Idris Elba smolders like nobody.
Naturally.
That man,
Mhm.
good God, that would be
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
He would be an amazing Damon, actually. Okay, Adam. So if you didn't want to play Julian rather than Christian, I just assumed you played Julian, but I mean Christian.
Christian, yeah.
Who would you think about could be Julian?
Julian I have trouble with. I was thinking about this earlier. The first thought that came to mind is Timothy Chalamet, but I don't think he's quite,
Oh, no.
adventurous
No.
enough.
No, not
No,
that
it's
No.
not interesting. Mm-mm.
I liked, I actually had a good idea for Christian, but I would want to play Christian, but I think Eddie Redmayne would make a good Christian. He's kind of that, like,
Yeah.
inquisitive, science-y kind of look.
Yeah, no, I could sort of see that because he's got sort of that fey spirit about him,
Yeah, but I have trouble with
Um,
Julian. I can't think of a good one.
A young Kurt Russell.
Yeah, that's what I I was just
Hmm.
watching a Kurt Russell movie last night, Overboard, the original one,
Oh, yeah.
with Goldie Hawn, and he would make a hilarious, it would give Julian a little bit of like comedy flavor for sure, but also keep that sort of adventurous Indiana Jones kind of feel.
Could we have a young Harrison Ford?
That would be nice. I
Yes,
think
we-
they could give us now a young
Yes.
Harrison Ford, to be perfectly blunt.
Or even a young Chris Pine?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
Chris
Chris
Pine would be
Pine would
great.
totally work for that because
Yeah,
he's got that
He can
Captain
sing. He's
Kirk
got
thing.
comic chops. Yeah.
I like him. Yeah.
I do too. I really, really like him.
Is
I
Chris
know.
Pine your actor crush, Edward?
Well, second only to you, but yeah,
Oh, I can't hear
he's
him.
pretty good. And Idris Elba.
Clearly.
In fact, all of them together with me. That's fine. I have a lot of love to give.
By the way, Bruno, you're going to either laugh or die a little bit about this. Obviously, I just want you to know that K Morn, I'm pretty sure gets his love interest in volume 3 of Everdark.
About damn time.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
Balthazar in a wig.
I was gonna say, oh, and it must be Chris Pine.
Yeah, exactly. It must be Chris
You're all
Pine.
just jealous. That's fine.
We will see. We will see. Oh, good God. No, this is like really like fun to think of. Okay, Bruno, who would play Kmor's master Artemis Elusius? And I mean, he's tough because he's like a child and he's like mean and like weirdly sensual and mean. Do you have any idea for an actor to play Artemis?
I'm glad you reminded me he was a child because I was going to go old grey-haired man for a minute.
'Cause he is that inside, but
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
I don't know.
Yes, tired and grey. Ugh. An evil child.
I know who's beautiful.
Do you
I mean, that's-
remember? Do you remember? Was it? Oh God, back in the day, young Leonardo DiCaprio and that bunch doing
yes,
and Miley Cyrus and all of the Disney stuff they were all doing.
yes. I could actually see a Leonardo DiCaprio doing that, a young one. Yeah.
I was gonna say Macaulay Culkin, and I just saw that come up in the chat. Like
Yeah.
circa the good son.
Although someone too young to know who it was.
Yeah. When the good son. That was. Do you know? You guys probably know that he would only agree to do, I think, Home Alone 2 if they let him do the good son because they were worried about typecasting.
Really?
And he was actually terrifying in that. He was.
Oh, he
pretty
was
good in it.
great.
It was
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all dating ourselves here.
A little
Ooh,
bit.
that's a good suggestion. The kid from Umbrella Academy, if anyone.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, he'd be
Yes.
great.
Yes. That is yes.
Well done, Taylor Carter.
You know what? A young Ryan Gosling from like
That
way
could
back
work
in the
too.
day.
Yeah, no, that could definitely work too because he's got those acting chops.
Or actually, Skarsgård, Bill Skarsgård,
Yes.
I love him. I
Oh
love
my
everything
God,
he does.
yes.
He's a good
the weird
actor.
Skarsgård. He played
weird
Pennywise, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he was in that
fantastic.
Barbarian movie on.
Yep.
Yes, he
Disney Plus.
was. Yeah, with
That
his
was
with his
really
big
good
brother.
too.
So good.
Very disturbing. Very
Very.
disturbing.
He's
I
such
know,
a good actor.
I'm like-
I quite enjoy his stuff. Oh, okay.
That's
Hannah.
Hecuba.
Yeah, that's Hecuba in the background.
Oh, Hecuba, we love you. Hannah, I know that you couldn't
She says she
play-
wants Zac Efron for some reason.
Well,
you couldn't play Sophia. I'm sorry, so you couldn't play Fiona. Who would
No.
you think for Fiona?
oh, I honestly, Rutina Wesley is the only person who I would ever cast to play it. And if
Wow.
we ever do a voice thing, it would be Rutina Wesley in like a heartbeat. And she even looks like the art. Like there's nobody
Scary.
else.
That's amazing. All right, that's amazing. Okay,
she's
so we got some
just
ideas.
got like she's got like the right voice. She's just got like balls. Yeah, I like her a lot. I think she would be the best one.
I don't know. Kirsten Dunst is still pretty amazing to me. I love her.
She's not the right color.
That's true. We need a
Oh, I
beautiful-
was thinking of not Dark Silver. What's her name?
So
We just saw her out. Sophia Strange.
Sophia
yeah.
Strange. Yes, Sophia Strange. Who would play Sophia Strange? I get you. Like, who would play her? Kiki Palmer would be a great idea. Or
Yeah,
Totally
Kiki
agree.
Palmer would be great.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of them that would be really amazing. Who would play Sophia, guys? I that's hard too. But you're right. I think. Oh God, there's so many. Obviously, it's funny because I think of them. It's obviously would be actors who are younger, who no one would know, right? They would probably be their they would probably be their
They would
first.
have to be, yeah, they would have to be fairly young. So we would have seen them in like maybe one thing.
Exactly, which is why we're all thinking of people who are now in their 40s. Good Lord. Young Dakota
Yes.
Fanning, exactly, would be perfect for Sophia. I think
Mhm,
I sort of
mhm.
had her in mind a little bit, to be honest with you. When I
Yeah.
think of her from the Twilight movie series, how perfect she
Do you know who's even better? Elle
Hmm.
Fanning.
Elle would be yes, you're
Elle
right.
Fanning would be even better.
Yes, Elle
Um,
would be much better.
yeah.
Chris Colfer, I don't know who that is.
He's from Glee.
Okay. Charlie plays a massive role in EDA, and I'm not gonna let's just put it this way, Edward, you're gonna enjoy being him, especially when you find out something about him, but we won't talk about that. I wanted to tell everyone the
Spoilers.
secrets.
You
And
can't.
I'm like,
You
no,
can't do it,
don't
Raythe.
do
No.
it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
All right. Excellent. So really good question, Mr. Jeffrey Ryan. That is fantastic. Okay. So the next question is from Nikki Murray, and this goes to Edward. The question is for Edward. If you had a chance.
I'm sorry. I just got a text from Vanessa saying
Yeah.
like a mysterious ghost, I am here but unable to be heard.
Oh no. Okay, wait.
Vanessa, try Chrome. I keep fighting with Safari to get things to work. Your
I had to
browser
re
does
put her
matter with
in.
Restream.
Vanessa?
She tried and it crashed 2 computers.
Oh my God.
Nice.
That's fantastic. Vanessa,
so-
try again now to see if you can be heard, because I just gave you re-access.
Yeah, and like if you sometimes if you can't be heard, then you need to log out of the stream and then log back in. And make sure your computer settings are right for whatever your audio microphone you're using.
Yeah, we can't hear her, unfortunately.
No.
Oh, bummer. All right, so people are putting some really Raven Soamone for Fiona. Oh, interesting. Emma Myers for Sophia. The werewolf girl from Wednesday. Oh, yeah, she would be a good one too. But yeah, I think, God, I really loved Wednesday. That was so good. I just love the actress who plays her. She's amazing. All right. So the next question is actually what people keep putting your suggestions in, because then we can have like a dream team to add to these guys.
I'm just trying to imagine the budget. God.
Oh, yes. Well, we're pretending that, we can.
We're all James Cameron, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. If James Cameron decides that this is what he wants to do instead of,
Yeah, rather than
Avatar for the rest
wet
of his
blue
life.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. Although he has said that he is perfectly happy just finishing out his Avatar series for the rest of his life, because, Disney's giving him oodles.
Yeah, Crystal Cunningham says, I don't care who is who as long as Tom Hiddleston is involved, and he would be great for a lot of characters. I think.
Oh, he would be great for a lot of
He's
characters.
a lot of fun. So
He totally would be. Oh God, it's like Idris Elba, Tom Hiddleston, all of you guys. Yeah, this is just like the budget is going through the freaking roof right now. I'm just like I'm like panting for the producers here. Not quite. Okay, so Nikki Murray says this is for Edward, but I think if anyone can actually answer this, but I think if you had a chance to talk to Damon, Balthazar, Charlie, and Elgar, what would you talk about? Not all of them at once, or it could be all at once. I think talking to Elgar would be difficult since he would have his skull and he'd be talking to the skull.
Yes,
and
well.
not looking at you. But yes. So I guess let's check. If it was Damon, guys, what would you ask him? And I think we've talked about this before, but I always am thinking to myself, I almost would be afraid to ask him any questions to which I would not want to know the answers, because he might know things. He would know things that other people would not, and it would be an answer, like a real answer, like I don't know, like deep answers. So Edward, what would you ask Damon?
I'm not sure that Damon and I would get along, to be honest.
Ooh.
I think that the questions I might have for him, I might not want the answers, if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
Kind of like what you said. So, and I'm not sure that Damon would be particularly interested in me either.
He would be like, "I am king." and
Yeah,
turn
he's like,
around
"Why?
and, like, walk
Why are you talking to me? I don't understand. You know,
Mhm.
you're not Julian."
Right.
Because I do think that Damon is very, very focused on the things that matter to him, which are so vast, except for Julian and
Right.
his friends.
Right.
So I'm not sure how, but let's assume that he thinks I'm pretty cool. I would be fascinated to understand the Everdark
Yeah.
and to history, stories, even art. I would want to know, do vampires have theater? And if they do, what are the stories that they tell? What are the legends and, recurring themes for them?
That's a really good point. I think,
Theater
you know
nerd here.
no, I mean, what's interesting about when you're writing something and trying to create a world, it's the things that you forget to add in. And I think that there's like a lot of opportunities I always feel that I've missed in Everdark, which is good that we continue to have to. I get to keep writing it and look at different stuff because that question about, do they have their own entertainment? They must. Why would they not? I mean, yes, I'm sure some of them were actors on the stage or in movies if they could be, but they would have real restrictions. And they're definitely going to be in now that they're out. They're totally gonna be movie stars. But, because that's who they are. But they would have their own in order to have their own stories told,
Yeah,
which
but even if you think like, I want to say fairy stories, but folk stories, there are so many stories about the strange old woman in the woods who, if you're kind to her, turns out to be a force of nature, a goddess. The
right?
stories about being people, being human, who are we? What are we doing? Why are we here? Through the means of what we're doing, what is the manga, the novels. It's a beautiful sugar coating around sometimes some very difficult, hard questions. How do you celebrate what you are? How like the recently on the YouTube, the dinner with your parents.
Mhm.
That is a terrifying proposition for many people of bringing someone home, especially if you're terrified your parents may not appreciate who they are.
Yes.
So, what are the stories that these predators tell themselves about what their purpose is, what their function is? Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm going on a rabbit hole here, but I think that the games we play and the stories we tell reveal a lot about us and who we want to be and what we think is right and good.
I was thinking about that, when you just talked about, the fear of acceptance, and obviously I thought that dinner and I wish I could, delve into this more, but there was, like, you can only do so much, but if you really think about it, like, although I've made our vampires dangerous, they are more warm and fluffy, and we know that, the thorns are perfectly safe, but the truth is, I sort of think that they are predators pretending not to be. Like, they're not human anymore, and as much as they love the thorns are sources of food for them, and I think that there is, like, I looked at the brighter aspects, like, they thought, like, for example, I love the fact that and, Hannah, you can speak to this, when Sophia goes to Elizabeth Thorne, Christian's mom, and just wants a mom, she hasn't had a mom in how long? Her own parents died maybe I can't even imagine how long ago they died, that they haven't had family, and Balthazar talks about that, not having living family anymore because most of them would not. They would die out or it would be so tenuous anymore. I'm wondering, like, when you played that scene between Sophia and Elizabeth, what
Hmm.
were you thinking?
Well, I mean, it's a tricky balance because I think there is a big part of Sophia that does really want somebody older than her to hold her hand through a lot of things. Like she's missed out on something. But I also think she's a manipulator and she uses it to manipulate. She uses her looks
Yes.
and her youth to manipulate pretty much everybody. So, she's definitely a multifaceted, complex character. And there are definitely times where I think in that scene specifically that she was using it to keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
But also, I think discovering, I think maybe it was more of a discovery for her that she did feel like she was missing something. And maybe she's found that in Liz Thorne, especially without Seer being around.
Yes. No, that's very, very true. So Bruno, Sophia is the one who, well, oh God, we can't go ahead to this because there is a scene. I will not go too far into it, but where Kamorn and Sophia go somewhere together. And she proves that even he underestimates her. Would you feel, or would you feel yourself, if you had Sophia with you, that you'd be safe from others or that you wouldn't be safe from her, or maybe both, Bruno?
I did this scene 3 months ago and I can't remember it.
I know, I feel the worst. I'm so sorry.
And
I'm doing too vague about it. Don't worry. But I think
really can't. I don't know what stage of the story. I'm ahead of everybody else, but I did it so long ago.
I know, because you guys are finishing up the last 30 something.
Yeah, I think Bruno did this almost 8 months ago now.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Bruno. I put you on the spot.
Yeah, so I'm trying to.
Well, they go shopping together.
They go shopping. That's what happens.
It's her fashion sense, and Kamorn is destroyed.
Yes. Vanessa, can you hear us? Because I don't know if you...
I can. I can hear you now.
And we can hear you.
And I can speak.
A voice.
I feel as though I have been released from the tomb.
It's just like, oh, yes. All right. So, Vanessa, since I've got you, I'm going to actually talk about Rajani for a minute, which is like, so Rajani is basically a spy master vampire. I know that you guys have not yet met her if you're only listening to the audio, but I think it's fine to introduce her because she's really spectacular.
She's M.
She is. She really is M. I do think of her in a Judi Dench type way. And, I'm like, oh, a South Asian Judi Dench.
You know that the casting department are going to hate you for that request.
Yeah, I know.
Can you find me the South Asian Judi Dench?
Yes. Get me the. They can find one. So Vanessa. So what do you think that you would ask Rajani if you could, if you yourself and you were just asking her and she was there in front of you?
Oh my God! I mean, she kind of knows all the secrets.
Yes,
or at least she wants to. So I think she would be a fantastic character to sit down over a cup of, well, we'll call it tea. With,
oh no!
And just like get all the dirt and
the tea.
The tea.
The tea, as it were. Yeah. Like, she's a very interesting character in terms of what she knows and who she's trying to know about. So,
well, it's really, to me, what was fascinating, I knew it had to be somebody who was coordinating, because if you guys think about it, so vampires need to have kept themselves secret until Damon decides to blow the lid off, right? Mm-hmm. So they need people who are in all walks of life to represent them. Politicians, police, military, even spies themselves. And he is the one that arranges them out of the limelight.
You're under a blanket, Raythe? Oh,
yeah.
You're back.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Rajani. She's doing that.
Yeah. And then but also, keeping things under wraps. But then now her role when they come out is going to be even more complicated because now they are going to have to spy on the humans to make sure that they're, basically see what the humans are doing in terms of going after vampires, because they will be. They will be.
Were you on the stream, Vanessa, when Raythe announced that Kamorn and Rajani in the third series are going to be quite large characters?
Yeah. What? No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was swearing at my computer.
As one does. As one does.
It's the Illuminati don't want to hear your voice.
Exactly.
It's always a good sign when you're wearing your Fitbit and it does the little beep to say that you've reached a good heart rate and you're not moving.
Oh my God, no. Oh my
That's
god.
how I do all my exercise.
We can't talk about that on
Lord.
the stream.
Yeah, as your heart is pounding just to basically, yeah. Oh good God.
Screaming is my exercise.
Screaming. Excellent. We are actually going to do a giveaway right now. So we're going to take a little bit of, I'm going to put a giveaway in here before we do the game because I figure we were just all like very deep. So in the chat, I want you to write the word, what should it be?
Wisconsin?
Yes, Wisconsin.
No
Put
one could spell that.
Wisconsin in the chat in order to win a free copy.
I'm sorry,
of
everyone.
It
I'm
must be
sorry.
spelled It
Everdark.
must be spelled correctly too.
Yeah, and
With
and
proper
if, by the
punctuation.
way, you all blaming Edward if this
They
goes
are.
wrong.
They are.
Yeah.
This is the
So,
skill testing question.
The
built
oh my
in.
God.
Oh.
Some of them got it.
Ring got it
yeah,
right away.
okay, people, copy paste,
Whoa!
copy paste,
Oh, they're
baby.
nailing
Oh,
it.
Cersei.
Cersei
Oh,
right
the
there.
nailing it.
France in there.
France.
I love it. So you're going to get a free copy of Everdark Volume 4. If in a minute it will choose and it just keep Scott cousin. I like that.
Cersei.
Green cousin.
What
All
is
right.
Green
Green cousin. Way to go on
Oh
there.
my God, no,
Oh,
I-
look at you all judging people for their
Green
spelling.
cousin.
You know, not everyone here is first English
Oh.
language, so be gentle.
Okay, so Tritson Cat Stories has won the giveaway. So
Woo.
Trixon, please.
Trixon.
I know. Shout out to Trixon. So Trixon, please contact Kat at marketing@wraithrain.com. Marketing@wraithrain.com to get your code.
They got to be really quick at this, haven't they? You don't give
They
them
really
much
are.
time.
They're just like, good
No,
Lord.
we're trying to keep it exciting.
Hey, while everybody's sort of writing in the writing one word in the chat, how many of you here today are from Africa, living in Africa? I'm not going to explain why I'm asking. I would just like to know if you would like to share to the everybody on the live stream.
Was this
Nobody?
code for something?
No, it's not code for anything. It's just that we're just doing some research into who's listening.
Oh.
And it turns out the podcast is super popular in Kenya, the Democratic Republic of Congo,
Really?
and yes, and South Africa. It's
Oh my God.
reached the top 10 on iTunes in those countries.
Are you kidding?
No,
No.
it's
No, it's really popular there.
all those
so-
princes.
That's amazing. All right.
So-
nice.
Florida counts.
Yeah, so that's why I'm just wondering if anybody here is from any African countries.
But Naz is like, hey, I'm from Kenya, but I live in
I
Ohio.
live in Ohio now.
Naz, that's fantastic.
That's great.
Kenya,
No, I guess
Ohio.
not. All right, so nobody on the live stream. Fair enough.
What time would it be in Kenya?
Yeah, I was
just
going to
gonna
say, it
ask.
might
That's
be
a good question.
middle of the night.
So if anybody's listening to this afterwards, and write in the comments if you're from Africa, listening in Africa.
Nice. Okay. I mean, we do have people all over the world, but I did not realize that it was so popular there. Oh my God. Damien's like, my family's from Sierra Leone. And yeah, Kenyans have good taste. I actually just last week, and the members were so indulgent. My good friend from Liberia was in town, and we ended up going and drinking for 8 hours. So it was fantastic. Yeah.
As one does.
Yes, one does. As one
Mm.
does. And I was like, guys, the chapter's just not happening. Like, oh God. Yeah, where are people all from in the chat? If you can let us know where you're from. Because this is like, I know we're at a little bit earlier time than we normally are. So not as many people can join us live. But yeah, let us know where you're from. Oh, Leisurely Panda. Oh, that's just awesome. Okay.
Canada.
Miles has a crush on Thalano. Raythe and Edward, do you think Miles has a crush on Thalano?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. He's desperately in love with him.
There we go. That works.
I'm sorry. We went to Cinders and Ashes all of a sudden. I had to
Yes.
switch.
Yeah.
My brain needed to switch gears.
It did. I was like,
No,
who the hell is Miles and who the hell is Thalano? That just
It's-
shows for my
It shows a great close reading of the text because that was one of the relationships to me that I found wonderful of Miles, who, again, no spoilers, but Miles is one of the, not going to say ugly stepbrothers, but
Yes.
definitely at the start of the story, very much so emotionally and psychologically. And his journey to the end, where he finds love, respect, and solace in Thalanil, is quite wonderful, and how he finds what he's into. It's a really lovely little story. One of the, I would say B plots or C plots, but yeah, it's a lovely little one. And definitely, Miles is very, very much comforted by, inspired by, and I think in love with Thalanil.
I agree with you. By the way, for those of you who don't know, even though we've let anyone know, Sinners and Ashes 6 is out now, the audiobook. It was an epic undertaking. It was something like 15 hours, right, you guys? It was 15 hours. It was 2 books in 1. Oh, good Lord. Oh, good Lord. By the way, there was someone from Wisconsin in the chat. So now, there's a bunch of people from Wisconsin. Edward offended
Nice.
a ton. That's great. So Ren is listening to volume 6. Excellent. Excellent. Denmark. We stand with Miles. Miles is a good boy. He is. The Caribbean, nice. And Miles Irwin is like, I disagree with anyone named Miles being an ugly stepbrother. Yeah, I know. I love how he says Miles needs someone who will never not make him say that his I think they're not. He won't be angry with him again.
Yes,
Thalanel's
absolutely.
patient.
Yes.
Nikki Murray is in Mission, BC, Canada.
Nice.
Oh, that's very close to us here in the studio in Vancouver. Yeah.
That is very good. Yeah, it took I really feel like I needed 2 books. I needed actually another book after that one really to do the whole thing. I'm really frustrated with myself. The problem was I had already said it was going to be one more book than it was going to be, and then there was no really good place to cut it. And then I was like, I slammed that thing home. That was just I was so exhausted afterward. So Trixon has a question for you guys, and then we are going to do wise and otherwise. How did you find Raythe and her stories? I found them actually. Well,
we found each other.
We found each other. It was love at first sight. So this was the one. This is how when you make audiobooks as an independent author, you can go through Audible and their back end, which is called acx.com. And you can, so long as your book is up on Amazon, basically put an offer out there saying, I will pay X per finished hour. If you voice actors, and there's like thousands of them, would be interested in doing it. And I was traumatized before I found these guys. Okay, this is a story I must tell because I know there's a lot of like budding voice actors in the chat, which is awesome and amazing. And I love
it. I love it.
I know. So I had always used beginners for my works. One was that I felt I always like offering people who are just starting out a chance to do stuff, because I know that I've always felt like I'm an outsider, I'm a newbie, I'm whatever. And I think that's great. And you also get like this great talent. And I was paying top dollar for like talent, not top dollar for top dollar, but for indie
Talent.
talent.
Mm.
And so you would think that they would know about editing their work.
No.
They
No.
no. So I was literally, and then I actually had the last guy tell me that he's just like, I'm just not making enough money to do it. I'm like, you're one person. And I'm like, okay, then you're just not making enough money at like audio work at all. So this is the deal. So I literally put in my offer people. I said, you have to promise that you will edit this. And I think Hannah was like, what? Like, why is this even a question? Because guess what? She and Edward and all of these guys are professionals. And that is the difference. That is the difference. And I don't want to say that I will never hire someone new again, but I will never hire someone new again after working with them. ever in a million years because of the professionalism. Just the skill. I mean, I can honestly tell you, I have been seriously considering, despite all the money I dumped into the Vampires Club, asking these guys to redo it because I am so disgusted with that particular voice actor, and
It's
that
your
I want it
trauma.
redone.
It's your trauma speaking.
It's my trauma speaking. Like, I want that basically erased from the face of the earth.
Yes. Yeah.
Not that Her
Look,
Grace Reads has any time to do this.
I mean, we're a small studio. We're not a big studio. There are bigger studios you could have hired to do this. But you know, so you did still hire some. I mean, we'd been doing it for a while, I think, by the time we'd met you, like producing audiobooks. But you know, we're still fairly new. We're not like famous or anything like that.
Well, I can tell you that you guys are fantastic. I mean, even when I I did have a couple more professional guys, but I honestly had, and I will not name names because he was very nice, but I had him do a version of this particular book, and he to give me an audition, and I was like, well, would you consider doing something a little bit X or Y? Now I've never actually had to offer any, not even like ask you guys to do something different because I really feel like that Edward and Hannah and you both have honestly encompassed the characters to such a degree I've never even thought of this. But this guy literally said to me, I think that you should leave the direction of this book to me. And I was like,
Wow.
F you.
Wow.
I'm paying you. If I want you
Wow.
to sound like Squeaky McDuck, you're going to sound like Squeaky McDuck because
Wow.
you already
That's your
hired me.
job.
Right.
I
And
mean,
I couldn't,
I
I
got.
said, thank you very much for your time. And I said, I paid him for his time. And I said, goodbye. And
I
and
mean,
he
you
does
know,
not understand why I have not hired him again.
the
A,
balls.
because he's not even
the-
a fraction as good as you guys, but B, that comment. Never make that comment.
The balls it takes to do that.
And if he's
though, I
listening,
mean,
you miss out.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
You're
That's
right.
okay.
It's
It's a
not that
choice.
it's not that I wouldn't necessarily push back if I thought a direction was like really out in left field or I thought it wouldn't work like overall. And I've definitely had authors and publishers turn to me and say, well, I want it to sound like XYZ. And I say, okay, well, I hear you on that. And I think that maybe if we were watching a TV show, that might work. Or if it was short format, you know, like a cartoon, like a 30-minute thing, that voice might work. But through an entire like 15-hour book,
Like, no.
just
Like,
stop
no.
for a second and like think about how that might sound. And then I will always throw in other suggestions outside of what we've already done so that we can come to some sort of compromise. And honestly, there's no other way to work other than just like compromise.
Right.
And yes, I do. I mean, I do understand that a publisher or author is not a professional director or actor, but they're still your client.
Yeah.
You still have to please them and you want them to be happy with the final product, regardless of whether you agree or not with their what they want to hear. It's their money. That's what you're
And
hired
I
to
also felt like too, and I was not wrong, by the way. I was not wrong. I was not
No.
wrong. But
No, you weren't.
I and I totally respect like acting choices and everything like that. But
Oh, that's not a choice. That's just rudeness, though.
yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
wow. I'm like, wow. Sierra, I really wanted to highlight your comment because this was very, very kind of you to say. I mean, this is so Sarah says, I adore how you handled the brothers and sisters Nashes. I was raised in a similar home situation. I thought it was done with a lot of grace and insight. I am honored that you think so. Having come from a difficult home myself, not quite that kind of home, but one where it was chaos and everything like that. I always think it's important that we reflect a lot of different upbringings and circumstances, and it can still lead to a happy ending. So it's just like that's just I think that that's incredibly lovely, and thank you for letting us know. That's so thoughtful. I really appreciate that. Okay, from going really deep and Raythe basically bitching about everyone else other than the wonderful people who are working with her now, which I'm sure they're all like, truthfully, it's been an amazing situation to find her grace reads. And so they auditioned and I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. And it feels like, and then it became history. Became history. All right. So now to something far less serious is the game. And I want everyone to be a part of this. So chat, definitely put your answers in the chat. And this
Edward, I think Edward just stepped out for a moment.
Oh,
so if
no.
we play, he's not going to be here. So maybe we could discuss something else,
Yes,
something
yes,
super exciting.
something super exciting because God knows.
Oh,
and
wait,
here,
wait,
he's
I
going to be
think
very
he's just
sad
coming
that he missed
back.
this comment.
I think he's just.
Okay, here, let's go to Hannah. What kind of makeup do you think Fiona would wear? Do you think she'd be more barefaced? It's an interesting.
That's actually an interesting question. I'm a barefaced girl most of the time myself. But I think she would do like, I mean, now that I've seen the art that Mafia did, I'm like, oh, she would definitely do like those like black, like that black liquid eyeliners, that wing, that like
Yes,
gothic
yes.
little wing, and like red lipstick. Not too much. Like I don't think she would do too much, and she would definitely be like very pale, very sort of like artsy goth school.
I agree with you with that. And I just think she's just naturally gorgeous. I always, though, do think of her with her braids and the beads. That's the one thing I always think about. But I'm sure she would change up her hair a lot too. But yeah, no, definitely. Okay, so we have a question from Victor. Is there a release date for the Wyvern? I think are you asking for the Warren or Wyvern? I'm going to assume Wyvern cover journal. We can definitely have one made. I think we've been like going through and basically like putting stuff out. By the way, for those of you who don't know, that there is Bloodline merch. There is Vampire Bloodline merch. Right now we have a ton of cups. Someone just got a mug the other day. So that's going to be really good. All right. Is Edward back?
I am. How did the moist towelettes shirt go?
We actually sold 5 or 6 of those. And
Nice.
I'm so impressed. Thank you, Moist Towelettes crew. And our Moist Towelettes person is not on today, which I am.
It's pronounced moist towelette.
We have to make it
An
French.
ancient French Aquitanian vampire.
Exactly. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. And this is the link, by the way, to the merch in the shop so that if you are interested, I know I hate hawking stuff, but I do want people to know legitimately because, I mean, if you do want it, that would be amazing. Again, it's just some Bloodline merch that we have going on.
It's amazing for me as an artist that anyone wants to actually have my art. And I don't know if you all feel that way, but it is quite amazing when someone says, I choose you to do a work, any work.
Yeah, I think it's really weird to me still, even after doing this for 13 years, that anyone cares about the stuff that I'm writing. I think I told you guys this when we first got together online to meet, like all of us, like in terms of we were doing like behind the scenes talking. I felt like such an imposter. I was like, I have these actors who are like real professionals, and here I am doing this little thing that I'm doing. And I'm like, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine getting that attention. And then when we do like even like the live streams or when people email me or write, I tell you, I still feel just like a fan. And I don't know. It's weird. It's still incredibly weird. And I'm glad that it is. I'm glad I'm not thinking, oh, I'm all that, because I'm not. But I just feel like I'm being able to share something that matters to me with others. I don't know. How does that feel for the actors? Like Adam, Bruno, is it strange to meet people who know you from your work? Do they act differently? Did you feel you act differently?
Yeah, it's never. I'll never be comfortable with it. The voiceover thing is interesting because there's kind of a I don't know, anonymity to it, which is kind of freeing in a way. I feel like you can kind of put yourself out there a little bit more in different ways, and yeah, kind of try new things. But also, you don't really get recognized as much for it. With film and TV stuff, kind of you're more likely to run into people who've seen your work, and that's its own weird thing.
Yeah.
But with this, it's so cool. This is such a neat format to get to kind of interact with fans who just know you based on your voice.
Yes. In a way, I think that would be I mean, I always say that I've got a face for radio, which I know that's not kind to say to myself, but I'm just too shy. So I can't even imagine what you guys go through being on, television and movies and going out there and being there. Um, Bruno, have you met fans before of your work in person? And what's that like for you?
Yeah, I have a couple of occasions, and it's I mean, for me, it's such a high, really, to be recognized and to be to be told that they've enjoyed what you've done and everything. It's there's nothing quite like it, and that's why I've been drawn to stage work and everything like that. It's completely shallow of me.
Hey, I like it.
I think it's a
Vanessa,
really
Hannah.
primal thing. Anyone
Yeah.
who's drawn a picture or written something or a piece of music or a meme, that act of sharing it with someone and having them immediately acknowledge it. That's why I love live stuff too, because there's an immediate feedback.
Yeah.
Vanessa,
I
you were-
remember
Oh,
I
Hannah, go
remember the first time someone recognized me. I was really young, and it just kind of shocked. It was such a huge shock to me. I didn't even think they were talking to me. Like it was like an out of body experience, because I'd only really done I've been doing a lot of theater, and so it was another actor who recognized me, and then she said like, "Oh my God, I've watched all your stuff. I love what you do," and I'm just like, I am like the same age as you. I've done nothing. So, I think there is always that imposter syndrome where you're like, you're just how, yeah, it feels good, but at the same time, it made me feel like a total imposter. Like I was pretending to be somebody I wasn't.
That's
Which is the
literally your job.
Yeah, that's
Yes, fair enough. Yes. But I mean, I felt like I was pretending to be somebody I wasn't in the moment off stage when this person was talking to me. So
Yeah.
it's my job to act on stage, and that's great. But this was off stage, and I was who I like me, but they saw me so differently than I saw myself that that was just all a little bit shocking and surreal. And I don't know that I liked it that much, and I think that that's why I gravitate a lot to voiceover, because nobody will recognize me. No one will notice me.
Vanessa, what about you? Have you had that experience, and is it cool or is it weird, or do you want more of it or want less of it?
It's funny because it was sort of a bit of a learning curve for me, or a teaching moment, I guess, because I'm just the worst. I'm so awkward, and if not, I mean, I was going to say not generally throughout my life, but then I'm like, well, yes, but just somebody coming up, especially like after a show, or even worse in the real world, when they recognize you and they're like, "Oh my God, I loved you in such and such," and my immediate instinctual response is, "Oh no, no, that was terrible. Do not love me. My work is crap. No." But then I sort of took a step back at one point and was like, that is kind of an awful thing, because this person is saying, that really moved me, or I thought it was great, and you're saying to them, no, it was bad, and you're a terrible person for liking my work. And
Right.
it's like, so just to have that grace to be able to say, even though I always feel like, no, I am terrible, and you're obviously a fool for liking my work. That's my own thing that I have to work on. So to just say to the person, thank you, and to be able to sincerely just let that compliment land is like the hardest thing in the world for me. To be like, thank you, I accept your compliment.
You are not alone. I have a few stories that really caused me to want to go back in and rewrite them. And as Hannah found out from, so one thing, those of you who have read Everdark, and obviously are probably reading Everdark Academy, I had to go back and heavily edit Everdark past 117 in a few big chapters. And Bruno, unfortunately, you're going to have to redo a lot of stuff. There we go. But that's fine. We're paying you. We have to just redo it. But I had to go back and edit and fix things to make it A, consistent, but B, I realized that, oh no, who they are in this past, I need to get this more in line.
And I've been working on those scripts all week.
Oh, wow.
And I cannot. The cast doesn't have them yet, so they don't know anything. But I think you guys will like the changes.
Excellent. I mean, yeah, when she said that she did like the changes, I was like, thank God, because truthfully, I don't think anyone, I don't want to say no one knows because I did upload it to the site, but I didn't tell anybody that I did it. I was like, it'll be a surprise. Like for everyone. Everdark Academy. Well, I'm never going to talk about that because I don't want to do that yet. Let's just say that there's some things I'm got to do too. But I will say that Vanessa, I really hear you on that because somebody came to me about one of those stories that I hate. I literally loathe this particular one because I just feel it was just such a disaster. They loved it. And I responded like, "Oh God, that's my word." And they were really hurt because to them it meant something. And here I was trashing it, not realizing that I was sort of trashing them. I didn't mean that. I meant that I felt like, God, I wish I'd given you a better version of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was really hard. That was like really hard. Wait a minute here. I wanted to see. So the podcast of Everdark would be a bit different from the written. No, the written one has been updated. In fact, it's all updated on the site and it will be all updated in the books. So, but for those of that people who have read Everdark when it was running originally, or even since then until the past, month, Hannah? I think month or so. It is now different.
Yeah, I think you started sending them to me about a month ago. So, but they should all be updated now. I mean, you sent me all the finished ones.
Yes. So it's been changed. So it will be consistent throughout. So people might want to read after 117 a little bit. Okay, we are going to do whys and never whys, but there's so many questions. People. Okay, guys. Now we all have to be honest here. This is a serious question. I want to make a question to the whole cast, and we're going to go down the ranks. If do you believe that vampires are real? I think some lies are based on truth. Vanessa, are vampires real?
Ooh. Emotional vampires? Yes.
Yes. We have all known at least one of those.
I believe there are some weird, scary things out there. Like scary in the sense of I can't explain them. Not, necessarily bad scary. So I'm a maybe on that.
All
The
right.
world's a big place,
Excellent. By the way, Darian asks, are the books already printed up to date? Yes. Don't worry. Nothing has changed from then. It's going forward. Okay. All right, Hannah, vampires real? Yes or no? Did we lose Hannah?
She may be muted.
Oh,
Hello?
There she is.
Oh,
there
God.
we go.
I don't know. My computer just exploded for a second, but it's back.
That's
back.
fun.
Are vampires real? I guess it depends on your definition of what a vampire is. Certainly there are, as Vanessa mentioned, the emotional vampire that we've all met and know and avoid. But, there are people out there who have mental disorders and physical diseases that they feel they need to drink blood. So I guess if your definition of vampire is one person who drinks human blood, then yes, they definitely exist. If you're talking about vampires as like this magical being that will bite your neck and share a disease with you, and then you will become just like them, immortal, not able to go out in the sunlight. No, I probably don't believe in the magical version of that. But, are there things that mirror vampirism? I guess, yes. So,
cool. Yeah,
the
that's
magic, no magic.
no
Just like-
magic, but something like that. Okay, Bruno, I think I already know your answer. You are a man.
Well, I mean, I think hundreds of years ago, when we didn't know enough, certain groups of society probably did some of the ritualistic things that we might associate with the stories of vampires from the last 200 years. And that's as close as it gets. I think stories might have come out of depraved actions of society, centuries ago.
I think you're probably right on that. Definitely. Adam?
Oh, I thought I was going to be the most like cynical, pragmatic one in this group, but you guys have out cynicism to me. No, I agree. I don't think they do. In as far as how they appear in this book, I so wish they did,
Yeah.
and I wish this universe could exist, but no, I just don't think they do. I don't know.
I
I lack the
know.
imagination. I wish. I'm too. Yeah. I'm too
Look, I
trivial.
mean, there are definitely mental disorders where people feel the need to drink other people's
Yeah.
blood.
Imagine that book though. Ugh.
Yeah,
It'd be so
yeah.
bleak.
kind of
If all these characters just realized one day, like, oh no, wait a minute,
You know,
we're
he
killing
said,
people.
I am really looking forward to watching Nicolas Cage and Renfield. And
Oh,
that's all I'm gonna
yeah.
say about that.
Yeah.
That looks surprisingly so fun. I am definitely gonna watch that. Edward, so you're gonna and do you think vampires could be real or not?
That's one of the questions I can't answer, Raythe.
Oh, there we go. The truth comes out.
He does not
Um,
believe in magic either. I can tell you that. I'll just answer for him. He's being inclusive and nice.
Oh, I don't know. Have you listened to Bruno's work? Huh?
You don't believe in my magic?
Oh,
They're bastards, aren't they,
I
Bruno?
believe in your magic.
Everybody clap for Bruno.
there we go.
I don't need your pity claps.
No pity class. Well, look, I mean, you can already see the love on the chat for K-Morn, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't quite surpass the love for Balthazar, but it's close.
But
I don't
of
know.
course.
Maybe it's close. We'd have to look at this. Oh,
Have a
good
vote.
lord.
What is this, a democracy?
Indeed not.
I think Adam did just suggest a popularity vote.
Yes.
Oh God.
You know,
As someone whose characters are not involved in the vote, I say go
Yes.
for it.
All right. Chat, this is unofficial.
Oh, it's happening.
K-Morn and Balthazar. Who is
you
better?
can't ask people to do that. That's just not
Oh, but you can.
This is the Saturday morning I signed up for.
And I'm going to put a third option there, which is K-Morn and Balthazar.
Oh, we already have a
Oh.
K-Morn more than Balthazar. Oh no. Balthazar is
no.
still the man, but K-Morn is close. Oh God.
Balthazar,
Oh.
K-Morn. Oh man.
The chat is on fire.
It's just
You've
like-
created a civil war here, Raythe. You see what you've done.
I love it.
It's your
Both.
fault.
Both is good. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be
Oh
a
yeah,
fight,
it is.
man.
It's gonna be a fight.
Oh goodness. Oh God, both.
On behalf of Julian and Christian, I submit one vote each.
Oh, good Lord. This is like, this is
Oh,
tight.
wow.
It's like 50-50. I agree. It's just like Damon. Someone put Damon in
Damon
there.
in there.
Or Balthazar, both. I think that they just, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, Elgar.
And
Someone
Lily
picked
Lily
Elgar.
keeps voting. I'm just saying that this is being thrown.
She's
I
passionate.
see you, Lily.
We love you. We love you. K-Mazar. Okay, they're both of them. They're both. Ryder. Someone had to vote for Ryder. Come on, Ryder's the best.
K-Morn and Elgar.
Demos. Yeah, K-Morn and
Demos,
Elgar.
yes.
Both. Lily.
Oh,
no,
there's no repenting there. No. Look what we've done. All right, let's play the game, I think.
All right, we're playing the game.
Right.
Playing
We're
the
playing the
game.
game, my friends. Okay. So it's called Wise and Otherwise, and everyone can play. So what this
Or-
is,
Balthazar or K-Morn?
and then the correct answer is Balthazar. I know that's what
Correct.
we're just going to say. since we clearly love chaos, although we've been very good this time, too good, I think. It's because it's too damn early to be drinking, although really I could be drinking here.
Yes, no
we-
one's drinking here.
So this game is called Wise and Otherwise, and this is how it works. So I am going to give you the beginning of an old saying, and each person should have a short time to fill in their answer. Then we're gonna share it in round robin fashion. There's actually a right answer, but we don't care about the right answer. The purpose is to see how wackadoodle you can all be, and we already know how wackadoodle you can be because we just done. What was the last one we did? God, that was just like if you've never
Have I ever.
Never have I ever.
Oh
We're
yeah,
gonna
that
be
was
doing
good.
that again. That was fun, but we're gonna try this one. Okay, guys. So there's a wise Italian saying that says, "Don't bite until you know whether it's." Don't bite until you know whether it's. So fill in what you think that phrase should end with.
And are we doing this like a psychology test where it's the first thing that comes to our mind? Because
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
I think we
The
should
first,
bring out
I've
some
got to say,
emotions,
the
maybe.
first thing that
And-
came to my mind is cheese, and I don't like cheese. So I'm just putting that out there. So don't feel bad about your answers.
So
I'll
Hannah,
just do
can
the
you just
first word
say
that
that
comes
for
to
us in
mind.
your best voiceover voice? The full phrase is
I've
"Don't
gotta find
bite
it.
until."
I'm going to put this up on the chat, so it's going to be really easy for everyone to see. Hold on a second here.
Don't
Don't bite till you know it's dead.
Don't bite until you know whether it's cheese.
Whether it's cheese. I like don't bite until you know whether it's dead. That was quite good.
That was good, yes.
Others?
Don't bite until you know whether it's your own.
Oh God. Don't bite whether it's in someone
Moist
else's mouth. It's
towelettes.
poisonous.
Oh, moist towelettes
towelette.
is going to come up so much.
You know, I wrote down here, "Don't bite until you know whether it's friendly."
Oh,
that's nice.
Oh,
How about don't bite until you know whether it's been sanitized?
I love you. I love you.
That's such a
Oh.
Christian. That's such a Christian answer.
I love this. Julie's like, don't bite until you know whether it's not poop.
Wow.
Don't bite until you know whether it's wanted.
Ooh,
Res-
nice.
Don't bite until you know whether it's Damon.
Oh my God.
I love it, Victor. Don't bite until you know whether you want me to.
Oh, nice, Victor. We have to have consent coming into the chat.
Yeah.
Very nice.
All right, what's the next one? Oh, who
All
we
right,
missed?
next
Bruno?
one
Bruno.
is-
Come on, Bruno.
Bruno's, you're gonna have to be a part of this.
I was just happy listening.
Oh no. So
Claymore
there
likes to
is
watch.
Yes.
this is an old Hindu saying, in a thick mist. The word
First
thick is
thing
like
that comes to
whistle.
first thing that comes to mind in a thick
North
mist.
Americans will crash cars.
I was going to say
Ooh,
don't use your high beams.
True.
I was gonna say
True.
hide.
Oh, all right. In a thick mist, hide. In a thick mist, consenting there. In a thick mist, you will find K-Morn. Oh, Lily, you're the best. In a thick mist, Jin thrive. Okay, you get lost. K-Morn dropped his moist towelettes. The killer.
There it is.
In a thick mist, make sure Damon and Balthazar are on around. Ooh, I love in a thick mist, the killer is waiting. In a thick mist, Damon's beautiful red eyes appear, searching for his next prey. Okay, guys. In a thick mist. Oh, close your eyes and sniff.
What?
That's pretty
To find
good.
your way.
Well, it's better than mine. My brain just went to, in a thick mist, sheep are delightful.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, no.
What about in a thick mist, we can all be friends?
Oh. I'm liking in thick mist you can't see shit. I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, that's very pragmatic. Victor
All right.
again with in a thick mist, grab what feels solid.
Ooh. Ooh,
Well, that
ooh.
works on a lot of levels, actually. I like that.
I know. It's always got to have double entendre there. All right, here we go. Um, one must chew according to. This is supposedly an old Norwegian saying. One must chew according to.
Oh.
That's a hard one.
The dexterity of their jaw.
I like it.
One must chew
Truth.
according to how thick the mist is. No?
No,
One
no.
must
No.
chew according to which hemisphere they're on.
I'm really curious what this actual phrase is
Me
now.
too.
One must
Yeah.
chew what you
According to
bit
the
off.
bones, it has the stiffness of the item. Your mom. Oh, according to
Mom, wow.
Wow.
The
One must
thickness of
chew
the
according to the scenery they are in.
I love
Oh,
that.
right.
Hey, inside actors joke.
Oh, good
Yum, yum,
Lord,
yum.
yes, chewing.
This fart is delicious. Let's all smell it.
I'm like, woohoo. All right, hold on a
Cersei,
second
I
here.
agree with you. One must chew according to the thickness of the moist towelettes.
Oh. And are you not like envisioning like those moist towelettes like actually biting into it? Now my teeth hurt just thinking
Oh, yeah.
about it.
Hot
Like,
and-
no, no.
I have to say, I do love a heated towel.
Oh yes,
Just
with the
random
lemon
thought.
scent.
Yeah.
Yes.
hmm
Especially after you've been shaved with a blade.
Ooh.
One must chew according to the tingly feeling. Oh, all right.
Yeah, when when your teeth are tingly and you just want to bite something.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm still thinking about biting into a moist towelette. This is
Of
really
course you are,
bothering
Raythe.
me now.
Mind out of the gutter.
Lemony.
Edward sounded like Stu from Family Guy.
That is just excellent.
That's a compliment.
Excellent.
That's a huge
Yeah,
compliment.
unfortunately, that voice got nixed from doing Lucius Artemis. That was was on the table, and the producer slapped me.
Excellent. Okay, the heart is like a goat. The heart is like a goat, and this is supposedly a true Bantu saying.
Oh.
That
Well, it didn't make
yearns
so
for its
much.
lost master.
Oh.
The heart is like a goat
Oh,
that
that's
screams.
sad.
The
I
heart
was
is
gonna
like
say
a
a goat that
Baron
farts.
Baron
A
surprise.
goat's fart. Like, I was just like,
Who just had
that
that
screaming
queued
goat?
up, ready to go?
Wow.
Oh.
that screaming goat. He's got a screaming goat.
Inflates and deflates at a regular tempo.
I think the heart is like a goat that's wait, I missed it. The heart is like a goat that Meph is about to eat. The heart is like a goat that annoys the hell out of me. Headbutt you. I like
The
I
only
love it.
thing
I
I
love it. The
remember-
heart is like a goat that wants to headbutt you.
I used to look after
wisdom.
two twin goats. Leon and Leroy were their names.
Oh.
And all I could remember, oh yeah, you say that, but they were not nice. They were mean and they farted a lot. So all I can think about is like the heart is like a goat that farts. Like that's
oh
it.
my god.
These goats were, and they made such a mess everywhere. Oh my god. Just awful goats. I mean, I love them because they're adorable, but
What is it? It's
oh
just
my
the
God.
heart is like a goat. It climbs up a vertical mountain surface and refuses to come down. No. Horny. That's it. The heart is like a goat. Horny.
The heart is like a goat. I honestly, I love these sayings. I really should get the original part of it. I have no idea what it is. The heart that is like a goat who always goes to the green pasture. The heart is like a goat that cat. I like that. Just cat. Oh, Jesus. All right, because so we can actually recover from this. The heart is like a goat in pajamas. Oh, yeah. I
That's
could see
good.
that. I like this.
Do
So
you
we
That's
are
know
some
going
the
really
actual
deep
one?
wisdom, Leisurely Panda. That's
Truly
incredibly deep.
deep. Truly deep.
Deep.
Truly deep. So we're gonna take a moment to
These
do
are all
an-
deepities.
Oh, they're very,
Very
they're
deep.
very. I mean, it just like the screams. I think the screaming goat. Could you do the screaming goat thing again, Edward? I love that.
Wild.
That's a real goat scream. Just saying.
Do you have that on like a keychain or is that an app?
No, it's just its apartment.
No, it's a
Oh.
goat. It's a little goat figurine.
It's a little toy.
Oh.
It's my fault. I got it for him,
She did. She did.
and now it's just on constant screaming mode.
So you're responsible for this, Hannah.
It's my fault. I have no one to
Yep.
blame but myself.
Oh, good God. All right. We are actually going to do another giveaway. This is for Everdark Volume 4 Audiobook. Okay, one of you actors say what the word should be that they have to write in chat.
Goat.
It's perfect.
Goat. Put
Very
the
topical.
word goat in the chat. Put the word goat to win the wonderful Everdark Volume 4.
There they
Look at all the
are.
goats. Look at all the goats, man.
So many goats.
Oh no,
So many
it's not
goats.
really
It's easy
goaty
to
in here, you
type.
guys.
What I love about digital goods is that we can just keep giving them away. It's all good. Goat, 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 goat.
Oh,
All
the
right,
tension.
so
Edward, you can't
God.
enter the contest.
Jesus. Oh,
We have a winner and the goats are still going.
Yeah.
I missed the winner. Tiki Pony has won the giveaway. Tiki
Hey!
Pony. Tiki, is it Pony or Paw or something? All right.
Do they win the goat for heaven's sake?
So Tiki,
Oh, please.
email
Take
Pat
it.
at marketing@wraithrain.com. Marketing@wraithrain.com, and she will give you a code so you can get your free copy of Volume 4 Everdark audiobook. Excellent.
And
Excellent.
with this
Edward is
great wisdom
goat.
from Full Moon Witch, the heart is like a goat that wants to win a book.
Oh, there we go. That is excellent. That is way excellent. So there's been some more questions asked prior to the chat, and I know I've missed a ton of questions in the chat, and guys, I really apologize. I'm going to try to scroll through in a little bit before we go back to, goats. Oh, Hecuba, come and be petted.
She heard the goats.
Someone take this grown man's goat away.
Yeah.
Oh, don't.
No,
You can
no,
try.
no.
You'll only make it angry.
Yeah. And
Oh.
you don't want the goat angry.
Mm-mm.
You'll have to pluck it from my cold, dead hands.
That could be arranged, Edward. Yes, the screaming goat. Okay, so Darian Roscoe has asked.
Sounds like a good pub name.
It's an excellent pub name, man. Darian Roscoe. I love it.
No, Screaming Goat.
Screaming Goat? That's even better. That is even better. Okay, so Darian asks, how do the actors choose a voice for a particular character? What is the criteria, and who all has input in this process? Thank you. Considering I just bitched about this, I'm sure the actors are like, holy crap, maybe we shouldn't say anything to Raythe about us choosing it, but please.
We do whatever she tells us.
Yes.
We've been good, please. No.
No,
Put
I
us in the
have to
cupboard
say,
again.
Raythe is the most hands off. Like once she is happy with the basics, like the things that are like super, super important to her, she just lets us fly with it. And I always assume that if she hates something, she'll just tell me. Otherwise she is like I am, mostly happy to let the professionals do what they're hired to do.
I do think it is, like we were talking about earlier, a pretty blink twice if Raythe is keeping you guys captive. A pretty collaborative process, like you were talking about. I think as we've been recording, things like the artwork, the descriptions of the characters and stuff inform, for me anyways, the character choices. As far as like practically how it worked, for the audition, we were given character breakdowns that include a little bit of history about the character, certain personality traits, that kind of thing. Both facts about the character, things like age, gender expression, regional dialect, that kind of thing, but also just elements from the story, personality traits, their life experience, how they relate to other characters, as well as, I mean, for a lot of us who are playing multiple roles, it comes into mind that you need to try and differentiate them as much as possible, right? Not everyone has a full wheelhouse of dialects to draw from, so sometimes just the practicality of how do we make these characters different. So I think part of Julian's voice for me came from just that. How can I try and differentiate it a little bit more from just my natural voice?
And I think like just following what Adam is saying, sort of in the same line, if you guys went back to like episode 1 and listened to the character voices in episode 1, you may, like, if you have a decent ear, like an okay ear, you might actually hear that those voices have actually changed a little bit, and they've progressed as we got to know the characters better, as we've sort of found out where they sit in our voices and in our bodies. So you may actually hear a difference from episode 1 to episode 100 in the character voices. Nothing like major, but enough that you might be like, oh yeah, that actually has changed if you listen to them side by side.
What I'm always amazed is your guys' ability to be consistent. And that's a question I wanted to ask you guys, because I am actually re-recording Dragon's Reign. Myself, I'm not obviously a professional voice actor, but people have asked, and I've just decided that I'm going to do it. And Kat's been so kind as to basically, master it for me. And then and I'm trying to. My voices might not be great, but I just want them consistent. How do you guys keep voices consistent over time? That's a question I have.
We keep I keep voice references for every single character that we voice. So if yes, the lead characters we voice, they all have like a reference point. So we recorded something and I'm like, all right, that's the character voice. That's where we're keeping it. It's usually a sentence or two. And we save that in a separate file and label it. But we do it even for really small characters that might only appear once, just in case, we need to, that character pops up again, or if that character dies, maybe we could reuse that voice for another character 20 episodes down and you wouldn't recognize it.
Right? Oh my God.
So we can always go back. So, usually before a session, I'll pull the references in and I'll be like, oh, okay, Adam's in for Julian Christian, officer number 5, and a reporter. And if he's already recorded those types of voices, I'll pull them in and we can listen to them before he starts recording, and get a feel for what they did sound like. And we can sort of practice a little bit before we start like really recording the voices.
Nice. Full Moon Witch, to answer your quick question, are you re-recording Dragon's Reign for release for purchase? Yes, I am. So it will be it'll be audible quality in terms of like no cat mewing, no sirens, no trains. It will be less than we charge by far for all the other actors, but it will be like, $50 a volume. We will have hardbacks and we will have ebooks, and I am both editing even more and doing more stuff in it. So that's coming up. And just so you guys know, and this is something I really want Hannah and everybody to know, the audio has been so popular. And though I wish you had the time and I had the funds, I am now adding an audio component to pretty much every serial going forward. So that's going to be really fun. So so I love you. You're lovely. Thank you. You are really awesome. There was an earlier question by Trixon that I was curious about. How you determine who records first, or is it not important?
It's not really. We all record separately in this case. So, there's not really, it's when people are available. The nicest thing about this kind of work is that we try to keep it as flexible as possible, because everybody's actor, like everybody here is a professional actor. A day on set or a week on set. Sometimes I lose an actor for 2 weeks. Sometimes I could lose them for 3 months. So we try to be as like flexible as we can. Everybody's really upfront about their schedules. If things change, they let me know. We reschedule. So really, it just depends on availability.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I was just always curious because, I always had this delusion that everyone would record it at the same time in order to play emotionally off one another. But you guys don't even hear what the other people are saying, do you? When you just record your lines, you don't listen to that at all.
We did do a read through initially, right before we'd recorded anything. I think we met and had an in-person read of the first episode,
Okay.
which was nice to kind of just establish what everyone else's voices were going to sound like approximately. It gave me a really
hilariously, I think Bruno had like one.
Yes. But we got the idea.
Yeah, his role considerably. He was like, "Oh, I'm just going to be a throwaway." No. Jesus. Just to answer your question, Trixon, about plushies for Dragon's Reign. So Dragon's Reign, long story short, the plushies play a role in this. We want to, but we need to find a local person to make them and for a reasonable price. I really don't want to purchase them from China and have them shipped because where the hell are you going to keep 10,000 plushies that you'll never sell? It'll be like, filling basically a swimming pool with plushies that will never be sold. So, yeah, I know. But yes, there will be, just so you guys know, oh God, I shouldn't, no, I'm not going to say this. Because you've got to make a big deal of it. But just let's put it this way. There's more to come. There's more to come for many things. There is more to come for many, many things.
You tease.
Yes, yes. So Adam and Edward, do you think Julian had fun teaching Damon about normal couple things like why couples hold hands? I don't know that Damon needs to be taught that, but
he may have pretended he didn't know, though.
yes, he might have pretended.
This kissing thing.
Yeah, they both
Show
learned
me
plenty
again.
about couple things. If you listen to the full episodes, you'll see everything they learned.
Oh God. I think that I could totally see David be like, I have no idea how this sex things works. I think we just need to do it again and again and again.
Yes.
That being said, I feel like I still feel like Damon was definitely the more experienced of the two of those characters.
Yes.
Like sexually experienced. I mean, not just like he's lived forever, but like, I mean, that whole in the garden communing.
You're obsessed with tentacles. You're obsessed, Anna.
I know.
It was so surprising to me in the middle of like, I was just like, wait, what?
For everyone.
I think Adam was.
I've learned a lot.
Yeah, I've learned a lot.
Don't bite until you know whether the tentacles are friendly.
I had to read it a few times, and I learned a lot of things. But yeah, I think that Damon is by far the most adventurous.
He's definitely the most adventurous.
And Julian is like, cool. I'll do it.
I'll go with you. Let's put it this way. When I wrote that scene, I never thought I would have other people reading it. And now I'm like, ooh, my tentacle porn is coming out.
I love it.
Oh, don't judge. Don't judge.
It's one of the scenes,
consensual, go for it.
It's one of the scenes that really stands out. Like I read it a couple of times. I was just like, I need to know more about this situation. How is this working?
And in the chat, we can recommend our favorite manga and anime for that particular question for Hannah to research.
Yes, tentacle porn is a thing, and that was before, what, when I didn't even know it was a thing. Not when I knew it before I wrote Everdark, but now I'm like, ooh, intrigued. I'll go find that.
Back in the day, I used to manage a sex store. Yes, in Toronto.
Excellent.
And it was a really.
It's like an onion. You peel back one layer. We have the goat. We have the sex store.
I was there for
tentacles.
Years. I was there for years. It was super fancy. It was very high end, and it paid really well, like so well. It was like early 2000s, and I was making like $35 an hour. Like it was good money. So
nice.
For retail kind of work, but tentacle porn was huge. I cannot even tell you how many times people came in asking for tentacle porn, and we really didn't have any. We had like one video somewhere in the back.
And now we're going to have a rewriting of the Cthulhu
yes.
stuff.
Oh, guys.
I have Cthulhu in one of my stories, my friend Edward, and there is some. Yes. We're not going to even say anything about that.
Oh boy.
Adam feels the same way I do about the
Oh my god. Lily's question is more although I think Cass can always do this. So do you think the Kali bloodline can use plant life as energy? It's a source of energy just like souls. I do not think so. I will tell you that, although I think Damon does. He definitely does. He has some kind of, I think we've actually found out some very interesting stuff about Kali in this last chapter on Everdark Academy. Let's just put it this way. There might be a dragon in there. But I do not think so, because I think that is a different kind of energy. But Bruno, what do you think? Do you think that K-Morn could use plant energy too, or do you think he needs some more meaty energy from souls?
No giggles. Come on. Very serious question.
Yeah, I think the way he values the mind and intelligence, I think he would be above looking towards plants as energy.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think he needs the worked mind of a human.
What if it was a really smart plant, though?
Yeah, like a potato.
Yeah.
Potato smart, Edward, versus what? A dandelion, which not smart.
Well, I've met some people in my life, shall we say, that I think a potato would definitely outdebate them.
Oh my god. Oh my god. If you wish to answer this, you can, Cass. You do not need to, but somebody asked if you have children in real life and how that makes acting more difficult or not. I would imagine it would be hard with children. I imagine it would be hard just in general because you have to drop everything and go wherever you need to go.
I feel like life is just hard with children, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just
feel
as a
like that's
general rule. I also don't have any children, but I was a child of artists, and I mean, I loved my upbringing. I spent a lot of time out at night,
Nice.
living backstage because there were no babysitters or anything like that. And so my sister and I had a great time, but was it the most like stable upbringing ever? Probably not. And look at me, I just ended up being an artist.
There you go. Yeah.
So, there's no other life for me, I guess. I don't know. I can't imagine raising children on what I make. I mean, can anybody though? I
Right.
feel like the times they are changing. Nobody can afford to have children anymore. It's really expensive.
We'll just have to give them to the corporations to raise as good little workers. Oh God, that's
Oh
Jesus.
boy.
so awful. I know. I'm like, Viva la Revolution!
That was really dark.
That was a little dark there. That was a little dark. News story? No. Yeah, no, I'm amazed just how people. I don't have kids either. I never wanted children. I'm sort of like I like other people's kids, but I'm just not a big kid person myself. But I always amazed that people can afford children or can live their lives just working at even a normal job, let alone an acting job.
I'm never. I don't necessarily like children. There are some children that I actively dislike. So
Yeah.
The truth
there has
comes
always
out.
been there has always
Name
been a
names.
worry
Name names, Anna.
in the back of my mind, whether or not, like, if I had children, would I even like them?
Right.
Because I don't like all children. I don't think babies are cute. I like some kids.
You were not alone. You were not alone in this.
Yeah. They've all got good phases and bad phases. I have 5 nieces and nephews, and that's been enough to learn, like, oh yeah, at some point in their lives, they're each my favorite. And then there's another point where I don't want to be anywhere near them. I want to be a whole province away. And
They're
I've
like trash
successfully
pandas.
navigated that.
Yeah. I have 6 nephews and nieces who I do adore, but yeah, it's not. I would not have wanted to be there during some points in their lives, like tweens.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, but tweens are evil.
Yeah. They're all
Literally.
the cutest phase, and I'm just like, just wait. You're a few years away, and none of us are going to want to be around you.
Exactly. Like, just, we'll grow out of that. Lily,
Yeah.
we're so glad you came. Take care of yourself. I think that's really, really true. Okay, so we have another question. Adam and Edward, is there anything you learned from Damon and Julian's characters? Now that's a good question.
Edward first.
Throwing you to the wolves, Edward.
Oh, that sounds pretty normal. It's my technology now. I've been infected by Vanessa. Right. Did I learn anything from Damon? Yes. Adam?
Definitely. Next. No, I think we talked a little bit before about kind of the traits I find in Julian that I find admirable. I'm definitely less like Julian than Christian. I don't know if I've learned from him so much as I admire his kind of boldness and tenacity and curiosity and all these things I feel I might lack as a person. So
Yeah,
maybe
we
I
talked
could maybe
about
I could
this,
afford to
Adam.
learn something from him. Pardon
Yeah,
me?
both Adam and I feel like we wish we could be Julian,
Yeah.
but are not.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good traits. I guess I've learned that by being bold and by putting yourself out there and by pursuing things so wholeheartedly, it's kind of worked out for him in a lot of ways. So
Yes.
maybe the lesson is like sometimes maybe it's worth taking more risks.
Yeah, no, for sure. Although, it's so funny. We obviously are putting Everdark up on Amazon too for to get more exposure and, whatever. And somebody who read my very terrible blurb for this had thought that Julian was going to be so whiny and going to be like, "Oh my God, I'm a vampire. I don't want to be a vampire." And they're like, "No, he's like, I want to be a vampire, even though they killed my parents. Like, I'm embracing this thing."
Yeah, yeah.
So I think he embraces change like hugely. Okay, Edward, Hannah, Adam, and Vanessa, and Bruno. I don't know if they can't really answer that because they're doing this under their not pen names. What would you even call this? Your
Microphone names.
Nom de guerre.
Mike names is
Can you just
nom de
tell
guerre.
the people generally, not shows and stuff, but do you do theater? Do you do movies, television, as well as stuff? So yeah, can you Edward, what not methods of acting?
I do it
what
all.
modes.
Twice and on fire.
Especially on fire.
Yes.
Especially on fire.
Wet and on fire. Very Cirque du Soleil of you.
And on fire. All right, so you I know that you've done theater, you've done movies, you've done television. I think all of you have, to a certain extent, done pretty much everything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're an actor, you take work where you can get it, and
Yeah, I
the
think
more-
versatility is the key.
more
to have a career.
disciplines you can work in, the more opportunities you have. Specifically, my personal interest. Well, I mean, I was looking at my resume the other day because I had to update it, and certainly my personal interest is live theater. I used to pretty much only do classical theater for like years, but I haven't been on stage in like 10 years, I don't think, at this point. So I'm pretty much just doing voiceover. It kind of made me sad to see that because I feel like it was just yesterday, but now I'm like, oh my God, could I even get up there and do it anymore? Who knows?
Oh.
So
Yes,
You could.
eh,
And you should.
yes.
it's just, well, okay. Are you
Do it.
paying me?
No.
Adam?
No.
It's live theater. No.
Right, there is no payment
No
there.
one, no
None.
one gets paid. So yeah, I think that yeah, I mean that's my background.
I used to do a lot more theater. That was what I got my education in, and voiceover stuff. And then it kind of, the past 8 years, it's really just turned into just voiceover, which facilitates doing film and TV, which can be very unreliable and unpredictable as to when you get busy with that kind of stuff. So thankfully having a little home studio to do mostly commercial kind of stuff. But I've been doing a couple other audiobook series for years now. I just finished the 18th book in a series.
Wow.
That I just wrapped up. But I won't plug it on your stream, right?
Well, you're more than welcome to do that. I just think it's, we should all. I always never thought that, sorry, I'm like babbling, but nothing's ever taking away from anything else. I'm always like looking for more entertainment to.
Oh yeah, you can. If you look up Adam Riley, you can find anything I've done. Some
Right.
very questionable titles, but there's some good
Googling
stuff
now.
too.
Bruno, I know that you have a history in clowning. That's what you did. So did you do a lot of theater, or what's your focus on for your career?
I mean, pretty similar to everybody else. Classical training, which is the theatre greats, Shakespeare, Ibsen, Chekhov, all that. Where you learn your stuff, and then you just go out into the world and you audition for what you can, you apply for what you can, and whether that's theatre, TV, whatever medium it is, if you like the people that are opposite the table, and then they give you the chance, you run with it.
Do you guys have a preference? I mean, do you like working, for example, more? I know that you guys like theater, but I mean, do you think there's something that you like the best between all the mediums? Or is
Well, I
it
think
so different?
unlike a lot of the actors, unlike a lot of actors who really enjoy film and television, I was actually a child actor on film and television. I was a regular on the French CBC.
Oh, wow.
So you'll never find me.
Bonjour.
But I hated it. I hated every second of working on set. It was terrible. Like I was so bored, and I just thought everybody was awful.
Oh, wow.
I
Again, another onion layer peels back. I love this.
And so I've never pursued it. I mean, I'm sure it would be very different as an adult, and I'm sure, I see my friends, and they all love it, and it's just not my thing. I just cannot.
Hannah, there's a question from Lily for you.
Oh yeah.
Has anyone performed at the Stratford Theatre Festival?
Yes.
Sweet.
Oh wait, are you talking about the one in England? Are you talking about like Stratford upon Avon? Or are you talking about like Stratford Festival of Canada?
I think that's probably Ontario.
Yeah, that's in Ontario.
Like Justin Bieber's Stratford Festival.
Yes.
Did they rename it?
Justin
rename
Bieber
it?
presents.
Sponsored by Justin Bieber.
Yeah, he did grow up there. Because in answer to your question, Lily, Stratford Festival of Canada, not Stratford upon Avon, although that is Mecca, I assume, or the Globe maybe is more Mecca. I would love to perform there one day. I don't think I'll ever get that opportunity though.
I just have to say, Edward times goat times potatoes is probably my favorite comment in the stream.
The smartest
sums it up.
vegetable.
I think we have to say times moist towelettes, but I think this is close to summing up the stream.
Okay, well there you are. Thank
So
you so
then, yes,
much. I feel
Lily, I see your response there. Yes, the one in Canada. Yes, Ontario, Justin Bieber's Shakespeare Festival.
Thank you.
Very nice.
I hate you, Adam. That's terrible.
Come on.
Oh.
He's a national treasure.
See, you drove Lily away. See, that's what you get. That's what
She's
you
like,
get.
well, that's my cue as a Canadian.
What have you done? What have you done? Okay, so Hannah, do you think Fiona speaks any language other than English? And do you think she can sing?
I think she's Caribbean. I
Yeah.
don't think I chose a British accent for her because I was doing another character at the time that Raythe and I just decided we were going to stick with because I'm white. I really shouldn't probably, I mean, in this case, this is about men, the male characters. It's not so much about the women, but I probably wouldn't want to touch this role with a 10-foot pole. I would want to hire someone of the appropriate ethnic background to play it. And if I was able to do that, I would have hired someone who can do a really good Caribbean accent, especially with those gorgeous beads in her hair and the braids. And yes, of course, she can sing.
Yes, of course.
Obviously.
Absolutely she can sing.
Obviously, yes.
Guys, so Adam will have to leave in a few minutes. So if you have any questions for Adam, please put them in the chat so he can maybe grab one or two before he has to head out. And while we're doing this, there's actually a question for me. So Raythe, for beginning writers, how would you recommend getting one's stories out? I would definitely say there's a couple different ways you can do it. If you really think you can write something that is semi-respectable, try to put it out on Amazon, on KDP. I mean, and that means writing from beginning to end, because a lot of people don't know how to write a full story. I didn't when I started. And there's plenty of courses and books that can explain story structure and everything like that. But if you've got a story in your heart and you can write that puppy out, do it. Just know that your first 10, 20, God knows, for me, 50 stories, you're going to improve. You're going to get better. There's also fan fiction. Fan fiction is a really fun place to start because you have some world building already done for you and characterization already done for you, and probably a passion and knowledge of those characters. I would recommend then writing some fan fiction out and putting it out on, AO3, Archive of Our Own, and getting feedback from people who are reading it. I still get fan mail to this day of my Luke times Vader fan fiction called Forbidden Star Wars.
Hey,
Um,
Adam, what do you think? Should we voice that?
oh yes, no, don't even. Do you realize they would want this so badly, and like George Lucas would come for me with like a harpoon gun?
The Disney
Um,
people would show up. Hi, Wraith.
yes.
We're disappointed in you.
What have you done? I don't know. Considering what Disney's done to it right now, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't be that. But I would say that fan fiction is just a really good way to, see if you can dabble in something else and then, use for others. So that's what I, basically have thought. Okay, Adam, there's a question. I don't know if you can even answer this. What zodiac signs do you think Christian and Julian are?
Christian is a Capricorn and
Nice.
Julian is a Scorpio.
Oh my God.
No, I really don't know that much about zodiac. I said Capricorn because that's what I am, and I know they're meant to be very pragmatic and practical and level and grounded. And then I don't know many other signs, but I don't know. Julian's. I know Scorpios are meant to be a little more like fiery and passionate, but I might be completely making that up. So correct me if I'm
wrong. Right. I
Yeah.
don't know. I always think of Julian a little bit as a Leo because he
Yeah.
is so very loyal and warm. But my best friend's a Leo, so that's why.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this of pretty much of Edward and Adam, but Adam, you speak first because I know that you have to take off.
Sure.
But one question for all the voice actors: how do you deal with the recording of sexy scenes? Isn't it a bit embarrassing? I actually have a very hard time even listening to them read my sexy scenes back because I'm like, my God, they're probably dying as they're reading this. So even if you're dying, it's perfectly okay to say, "Oh my God, the tentacle scene! Oh my God, how did this even happen?"
I loved
Um,
it. I think we it's acting, right? Like you are separating you're representing a character. So you automatically have at least one kind of step removed. You're not expressing your own thoughts about these scenes or emotions. You do bring a little bit of yourself into it inevitably, what's most awkward about the scenes is so Edward and I don't actually record in the same room or together at the same time. Which I don't know if that'd be more or less awkward, but Hannah and I record in the same room. So she has to cue me to do, moans and breathless lines sometimes several times.
Woo!
And
Direction.
but it's great. I think it's like an acting challenge because you do just have to kind of get over it and try and the worst thing you can do as an actor is not fully commit to moments like that because that's when it becomes
Yeah.
funny and silly and embarrassing. It's the same thing as a very dramatic scene or a high tension kind of scene. If you're not fully committed, that's when it becomes awkward and embarrassing. But if you just fully throw yourself into it and take it as earnestly as you can, I don't know, it becomes a lot easier. And it's a fun challenge.
Cool. I love that answer. Okay, Edward, you have a tall hill to climb after that one. So what do you think about sex scenes and how do you feel about them? Oh my God, that just does not sound right. But there we go. It's out there now.
I think they're fantastic.
Excellent.
Honestly,
Next.
if I'm going to do it, then I'm going to enjoy it. There's no point in taking pain or guilt or shame or embarrassment with my pleasure. So for me, number one, it's my job.
Right.
So I've done a few. And shame, I think, tends to dull over time. But again, I don't see that there's any point in being embarrassed or ashamed about the things I love to do and that I enjoy. I'm in the privacy of a studio. You don't get to see my face. I can hit the stop button and comment to myself on what I think's going on. But no, I don't get embarrassed by recording these things. For me, if I had to do it in front of certain people, I think that may change. But that's more about me and them.
Right.
So, for instance, you've had family members listen to this. I've had family members listen to this.
Yeah.
They're not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. What's the point? That shame and embarrassment is something I was taught when I was little by the world, and I'm choosing now to say no. This is something that I enjoy. It's fun, and I'm hurting no one. So I love it.
I didn't think anyone could top Adam's answer. And yes, okay,
That was great.
I that was really great. I think that that's like sex positivity and everything. I think for me is that again, it goes back to that imposter syndrome of not doing it well enough. That I'm asking someone to expose themselves, but they're not. You're being a character. You're doing your job. But I always feel like I want to make sure that I've done this so that because you'd be surprised. It's like it's not like Lego pieces when you're writing a sex scene, guys, because you really need to. You're not going to say everything. You have to say what's sexy. And what does sexy mean? What is sexy? It's like he placed
Yeah.
his leg to his right. It's like that's not sexy. So it's all like trying to get into that moment, and be there. So that's so yeah. So I'm
And
always
remember
like,
that everybody listening, everybody reading is doing it because they want to.
right.
No one's being forced to listen to this. So yeah, I think that that's just an old story we've all been taught, that our work isn't good enough. You shouldn't be listening to this. You shouldn't be enjoying this. And if you are, there's something wrong with you.
Right.
I just reject that story.
Right. Oh, I absolutely 1,000% am with that. Adam, I know when you have to drop off in case just go ahead. That's all good. I so thank you for being here. If the others can stay on for a little bit longer, that would be awesome.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah,
Love
yeah,
you,
we are
Adam.
here.
Take care of
Thank you
yourself.
so much for all your
Yeah.
questions,
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
everybody. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you
Take care,
soon, Adam.
guys.
Bye.
All right, we are going to do another before we get to more questions, and we are going to do another giveaway. Actors, what word should they put in the chat to win the next copy of Everdark Volume 4?
Sex positive.
All right, sex positive it is. Write sex positive in the chat to get your copy of Everdark Volume 4 for free audiobook.
I want to say that attitude also applies to me eating cake, not necessarily.
Yes.
If I'm going to eat it, I'm going to
It's
commit to
positive.
eating it. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's going to be like, oh my God. Okay. I love this. I love this now in the chat. Excellent.
So what have we had?
Excellent.
I was going to say potato, but I thought I'd let someone else choose.
Oh my God.
But then again, we'd see who can't spell potato. So.
Yeah, I know. Does it have an E at the end? Does it not have
English
an
is a very silly language, isn't it?
E? It's a hugely silly language.
Yeah.
It's a hugely silly language.
Structurally, linguistically.
Everything.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
yeah, I just can't even imagine people and like non-native speakers how they had to learn something where the same word means all different things.
And if we shift which syllable is stressed, it
Yes.
completely changes the meaning.
Exactly. No, it completely changes the meaning. Okay. Here we go. Keeps changing sex. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Sex positive.
It's
Sex.
let's put it this way. Autocorrect, it's never duck. Never duck. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, let's get out to the duck and goat for a
Oh my God. All right. So the 2-word keyword isn't working. Oh no. All right. I'm so
No.
sorry, you guys. We're gonna have to do this again.
Yes.
We are going to use the word potato.
There we go.
And there's no E at the end. Put potato in the chat. Potato. Because it will not do sex positive as 2 words. So put potato in the chat. Potato. Let's see. We have to wait till it refreshes because then it's going to suddenly be like a million potatoes are going to go through.
And just
There we
for the-
go.
Oh, there we
follow
go.
up on- Hey, sex
There we
positive
go.
potatoes. Hell
Potatoes are
yeah.
going- coming in. Oh, yes.
Potatoes, mash them, boil them, put them in a stew.
I'm surprised you didn't choose turnip.
Yes. The changing meaning in English is things like pervert and pervert.
Yes.
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 And in this book, permit and permit. So sometimes when you're reading, you're like, do you have a permit for that? Do you have a permit for that? Ah.
Like, come on.
Or,
I love how people are like suggesting ways
present
to
your
boil
present.
them, fry them.
Fry them. Someone won? Who won?
Who won? Hold on.
Some people saying, good job, Rin. Congratulations, Rin.
All right. I'm like,
I think Rin just win twice? Wow.
I
I
can't
feel
be
like
right.
Rin won the last one.
She can't have run around.
No.
No?
I don't
All right.
know.
So, Rin Olson has won the giveaway.
Woot.
Congratulations, Rin. Please contact marketing@raytherain.com to get your code to download your free copy.
That's weird. Nightbot didn't. Did we break Nightbot?
Nightbot was just like really
Oh, yeah, it
annoying.
did.
No,
Yeah.
it's there.
It's there.
It just went. Honestly, there's so many potatoes in the chat after sex positives.
See, Kamorn wishes he could draw energy from potatoes.
Yeah.
A big fry up,
Can
absolutely.
you imagine him on like like potatoes lined up on the table and just like drawing the energy into soul gems? I'm like, good lord.
Look, there's so much you can do with them.
I would love for my superpower just to be potatoes.
There we go. Potatoes. The potato superpower.
Yeah, you can call me Potato Princess.
Okay, this is like so more of a question for me because I think that this is okay. Was Damien able to accidentally alter the relationship between master and fledgling, foreshadowing of his powers as Iros by having Christian not need him as much as a normal fledgling would? I actually think that's more Christian than it is Balthazar, because God knows Balthazar needs Christian with him all the time. That relationship is completely reversed if you really think about it. So that, yeah, I think that, and if you, well, I won't say it, but just let's say that Balthazar does need a master, or he wants one. So, okay, good question for everyone. Question to you all. Did you realize you wanted to do what you are now? So, being an actor, Bruno, did you always know that you wanted to be an actor? Or was that something you found out later in life?
Sorry, I was just trying to scare my wife on the balcony.
Excellent.
That sounds
At least you didn't push her off the balcony. Yeah.
Did I? Oh, I wanted to be an actor from about 17, which I think is quite late in general for most people. I went to a quite academic school. Drama wasn't an option. There was no theatre, and we didn't have a performing arts school built until I was in lower sixth, which is the second to last year in England.
Wow!
If you opt to go till 18. And so our English teacher wanted to put on a play to, christen its opening or whatever. And so we did a play. We did The Servant of Two Masters, which is an Italian farce. Yeah. And I played one of the masters, and I just had a fantastic time. I loved it. She did mock auditions for us. Where I say mock auditions, it wasn't an audition. We read for different parts, and we were given the parts that the English teacher thought we were best at. I liked that. And then just the whole rehearsal process, just the camaraderie and the group effort to go towards one goal, getting the script, presenting the script as best as we can. I just loved all that. And then I found out I was moving to Canada. So it made the decision to get into acting a little bit easier because, university was off the table for me. So, yeah. So it was quite late. Growing up, it was lawyer probably was closest.
Lawyer was closest. Having been a lawyer, can I just tell you, Bruno, you escaped. Let's just put it that way. Vanessa, how about you? When did you know that you wanted to be an actor and be doing stuff like this?
Well, it's funny because I never, people talk about, when I was a little kid, I was putting on shows with the other neighborhood children and stuff. And I never did anything like that. And I never really did theater until I was in like middle school, like junior high school. But I remember being from a very, very young age. I was super method, I guess, as a child.
Wow.
Because I would do, like, we'd play games, and then I have this very clear memory of being in kindergarten, and we'd been playing, don't judge me, we'd been playing Aquaman.
Excellent.
At recess.
Yes.
And we're sitting in the little circle, and the teacher says to me, Vanessa, what's wrong with your eye? And I was like, nothing. She's like, well, why are you holding that? I had like a little wadded up piece of paper towel that I was holding over my eye because we'd been playing and in the game my eye had been injured. And I guess I was so into it that now we're back in real life and I'm still like holding this this bandage over my eye. And
Oh my
I
God.
realized from a very young age, I was unable to distinguish reality from fiction, I guess. But it was very like, oh yeah, I guess that was acting. Even then, I was like so into my role. But yes,
Wow.
that was for me.
Good. That's awesome. Okay, Edward, what about you? Did you do method act when you were a child? Now I'm like intrigued.
I think Edward stepped out.
Oh, he did. Okay, Hannah, what about you?
Yeah.
Method acting or any
Sorry,
acting?
stuck with me,
Well,
I
you were a
guess.
child actor, so and you said that you were.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a family that was like fairly artistic, or my mom was at least fairly artistic. And so, yeah, I would always I never wanted to be an actor. I actively went against my
God.
my what I was doing, and I was going to ride horses for a living and own a
Nice.
stable and train horses for the rest of my life and not have to deal with stupid acting or
I love it.
yeah, but it didn't work out for me because of course I love performing. Even if what I was doing as a kid maybe wasn't what I wanted to do, as I got older, I started realizing there were all these other things that I was interested in. And my mom did stuff like a lot of musical theater, which I'm not. I mean, I love musical theater. I'm not good at it though. Like I don't have a great voice. I cannot dance. So, yeah, I ended up being an actor. I don't know how. At some point, it just kind of
embraced it.
happened. Yeah, and well, I don't know that I ever embraced it. It just kind of happened, and then it just kind of kept happening.
Wow.
And I kind of just went with it. I don't think I actually actively pursued it until I was in my early to mid 20s. Yeah.
That's wild. And it doesn't surprise me. You end up in things that we may not think. Like not that anyone cares, but I always wanted to be a writer. I always did. But my parents divorced when I was like 12, and we were so poor after my dad left. So very, very poor. That I became I just thought, well, I'm never going to make any money as a writer. So I have to do something that's responsible and respectable. I'm going to become a lawyer. And I did. And that was soul sucking. It's more soul sucking than you can imagine. What I'm doing now, I continue on at the day job, although Raythe Rain, is to my wonder, delight, just unbelievable amazement, could support me and everyone and all we're doing right now. But I never want my mortgage to determine what we do on Raythe Rain. That's always just been the thing, let alone healthcare in the US. But I will say that I think that, a career in the arts is so dissuaded normally for many people because they're like, oh, you can never make money at it, or you can never make a living. Don't believe that for a second. Try it out. Like try it, or at least do it as a side hustle, for God's sakes, because it's amazing. It gives me meaning. I don't know. I'm like, all right. I just wanted to share this with you guys. Before everyone leaves, I wanted to thank you all for the lovely autographed postcard Raythe sent me along with my latest Everdark cover. I'm going to probably need more copies of that. So those of you who have purchased books sort of later on in this process will hopefully have gotten a beautiful, and this was something Hannah thought up, beautiful full color back and front, signed by all the actors, postcard that goes along with the books. I send those along with them, and they're just gorgeous. So thank you guys for doing that. And I know that they are more than appreciated. So it's like, this is like a really good thing here. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just go through this. Everyone's still talking about what they think, like who is a Capricorn, a Sagittarius, which I love it. I love it. Okay, hold on a second here. All right, going back to the. Oh, okay. Question. So Damien, not Wayne, is like, sup, dumb question. Okay, 1. Would any of the characters in Everdark watch anime? Guys, what do you think?
It's Confessor Rajani's secret vice.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sophia, absolutely, 100%.
Oh, I think Sophia actually is a manganata herself. I think she probably draws them.
Yes.
Oh
Probably.
God, yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes.
And they may have been based on her, actually. I'm wondering if that's the backstory. We have a thing where she goes to feudal Japan and sets
You
something in
know
process.
she is the muse for every
Yeah.
sparkly anime girl out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I think that is so true.
I can't wait till she shows up wearing cat ears.
Oh God. Oh, she's got to. Oh my God. So another question, although Adam is not here, has Christian ever asked Damon questions about how the world used to be during before time, like during the Pangea theory and stuff? Oh my God. Can you imagine? Damon would know.
Hmm.
That's crazy. If they were on Earth at that time, that's another thing, because they do indicate that they were elsewhere for a long time. All right. Nobody has an answer for that. I don't blame you. But I think
Sorry.
Christian would ask. I think Christian would. I think a lot of people would ask. One of the things that's in Everdark Academy, where this story takes place just a few months after Everdark ends, where, but humans know that vampires are out there. There is a lot of, again, this shows just like a lack of imagination on my part, or a lack of space for me to deal with everything I want to deal with. But, how would humans react to having beings like vampires exist? How would the world change? And that's sort of what the next books are all about, like various aspects of it. Actually, Everdark Academy weirdly is dealing with the war, but then it's more humanity too. So I think those questions would be asked. I think scientists would be fascinated. I think historians would be fascinated. I think religious people would both be afraid but also be hopeful, because we do know, according to the Callie, there is something else after death. Okay, so here's a question that these guys are not going to be able to ask. Would Valerius and Damon be best friends? They have the same closet, so I assume they'd bond over that. Valerius is the Black Dragon King in Dragon's Reign. And yes, I think they would be friends. I think that they would be the type, the two of them would just sit in silence together, drinking, and just be like very happy to just watch the world go by together.
Yes, on a porch somewhere.
On a porch somewhere.
On
That's
the side of a
exactly it.
huge mountain, actually, for Valerius, beyond his
Yes.
stormhold. And the two
Oh,
of them just
God.
sitting, watching, going,
Oh, yes. They would just just like
Mm.
nod, and they'd be like, they'd have the best time not saying anything at all.
Yeah, just occasionally sort of looking at each other and nodding and
Yes,
wry
exactly.
smiles
Oh my
as their
God.
hair blows in the wind. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Here we go here. Hold on a second here. I'm just scrolling through. Okay. This is a question for Edward. Are you excited to play Elgar and read his story?
Yes. Yes, I think Elgar is a really, really interesting character, both from backstory, but also as an examination of what war does to people, how it can take. I served in the military, and I saw a lot of people who were incredibly sensitive, creative, imaginative, who were trying to play a role that they really couldn't play, and it broke some of them. And I think Elgar is a genius. He's brilliant at so much, but the damage that was done to him by seeing those he loved, the horror of the war, I think it's going to be a really interesting story, and I hope I can do it justice.
Excellent. I love it. We just put up another chapter in Everdark Academy last night that were those who know what I'm talking about, that we're going to really understand Elgar better, and as well as Iros. And it's going to be, I'm already weeping when I think about it. Let's put it this way. I know this sounds ridiculous to be crying about something that's in your head, but literally it's coming. It's coming.
Nothing ridiculous about it at all. I think we weep because we care. And isn't it a wonderful thing to be weeping over again because we feel something? It's great.
I love that you say that. I love it. Yeah, I feel like they're real, especially since you guys are reading them. They do feel very much more real than, it's fascinating to me because it does feel very alive, and I'm like, I don't want to do this to them. I don't want it. It's like it's already happened, so it hasn't. Yeah, yeah. So I really wanted to Maya's question, not more like comment, but I really think this is true. And to those of you who have an opportunity, it doesn't matter what age you are or what you're doing, you know, do try to engage in your art, even if it's on a side time, because art is, I don't know, purest expression of being is how I feel about it. I feel like,
Agree. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think it makes us live more. It is really easy to go to the job, come home, scroll the internet, watch television, and go to bed, like with everything we have to do. And I know that it's exhausting, like the way our lives are set up. But art truly will connect you to something else,
Mhm.
whether you're engaged with it or whether you're doing it, even if it's just coloring books, it like will do something.
Or cooking potatoes.
Or yes,
It
potatoes.
can take
Yeah.
many, many forms of self-expression and the act of sharing your art, and it's a
Mm.
creative thing. And I think the more we learn to create and share rather than just consume mindlessly, that can only be a
Yes.
good thing.
Yes.
And for all of you out there who are learning to write, we're all learning as we go on every single day. Every single
God,
time you
yes.
sit down and do it, it's never going to stop. And when you look back at your work, it should be crappier than where you are now. Because if your work has got worse, well,
That's
maybe find a
yeah.
different way.
You find a different way. And Ash, just so that is such a common thing. My counselor in high school asked me if I had any backup plans when I told her I wanted to pursue writing. I actually ran into an editor at this beer fest I was at, where we were all like listening to basically, some very like pretentious brewers talking about their beer, but at least we could drink it while they spoke. And he was older, and he had been really like an editor at newspapers, magazines, and stuff like that. And when he heard I was a writer, I didn't actually tell him, because I typically don't, because people are like, oh, what are you writing? And then I'm like, well, I write gay romance. And then their look on their face, it's either deer in headlights or, oh, I'm really interested in that. I'm like, oh God. But my friend said, oh, she's a writer. I'm like, I normally say I'm an attorney, and that normally shuts things down, other than when people are like, can I ask you this legal question? I'm like, no, you can't. But anyway, he really wanted to know what I did. And I was like, I mean, he was really intent on it. I was like, okay, fine. You want to know? Here's Raythe Rain. Look at it. And he was just like, what I was really amazed with, I just was like, wow. He said to me, he's like, I am so glad that writers are out there able to make a living, like are not waiting for a publisher to say, of the 15 books we're doing this year, you get to be that lucky one. You know what I mean? You're the one that's going to do it. You're the flavor of the moment, the flavor of the year, that able to actually put their work out. And I am that same way, because I'm telling you, how many times have we heard vampires are over? Like, it's no longer vampire time, right? And who amongst us has said, yeah, as a reader of vampires, I don't want any more vampires.
That's just the corporate executives who are trying to work out what's cool and what's
Yeah.
hip.
Right.
And the kids these days, they want this. Do they?
Do
Are
they?
you sure?
Do they really?
Why are all these young people written like they're 30-year-old white men?
Yeah, it's just like, what is this? And
I mean,
go ahead.
artists here know all the time. No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
you're not going to get that role. No, we went this way. No, we went that way. No, we decided to do this instead. Don't wait for permission, guys.
Mm.
What
Yeah.
are you waiting for? If you're waiting for permission, you're going to wait forever.
Yes. And if you're waiting for someone else to tell you that you are a writer, or you are an actor, or you are an artist, well, who the hell are they?
They don't.
Yeah,
They don't know.
exactly.
You define yourself, please, because define what you want to do. Because if you can't do it, nobody's going to get you. No one's going to pay you to do it.
Yeah.
I always hope that of course, every artist wants to be discovered. Every artist wants to be appreciated. Every artist wants to make a living at their art.
Every human does. Yeah.
Every
Seriously.
human being does, and so just start.
Yeah. To me, if you say you're an artist, it means you're creating something.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
Do
have to
it.
be epic, and it doesn't even have to be finished, but if
it
every
doesn't
day
even
you
have to be
sit down,
good when
yeah,
you do it.
yeah,
It doesn't even have to be good.
And you, those of you who are been long-term members of the site, but even those of you who have picked up some of my earlier stuff, I think the greatest compliment I have ever gotten was from somebody who had been there from the beginning and came to me and they said, "No, you've improved so much. Your writing, it's amazing how much it's improved." I'm like, "Wow!" And you even subbed to me when I wasn't so hot. And they're like, "No, it was great then." And but I was like, "No, it probably wasn't." But I had something to say and I just had to say it. And that's something to know that you're just gonna get better. It's like a muscle. You're gonna get better doing it. And you'd be just amazed at people wanting and enjoying the same things that you enjoy, even if you think you're a little weird. Like I've always like I thought I was this weirdo that no one was ever gonna read this stuff or enjoy it. And then, I sit here and I think I can measure how far I've come that I have, voice actors of the quality that we have on Everdark. It's amazing, guys. It's freaking
But
amazing.
even
So,
what we're doing here,
yeah.
it's so new that the actors union has no idea what to do with it.
Hmm.
So, like all of this, what we're
yeah.
trying
And the
what-
producers are still struggling with things like Amazon, where they're demanding 60% of the cut
Yeah.
yeah,
for
there's
outrageous.
just,
nothing but web hosting. Mm.
there's just so this is all so new. Like this is all like we're right at the forefront of it. Nobody else knows what this is. No one knows what to cost it at. There's no
We're making it up as we go
Yes,
along.
you guys,
Pretty
we're
much.
just making this up. We're trying our hardest to make it as good as we possibly can. And we learn from our mistakes and we make them all the time.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And we get better every single time.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
true.
it just this is
Not
so
be afraid
new.
to admit mistakes, learn from them, and get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to do something new. So what if somebody says it's not going to work?
Oh yeah, and it may not be a mistake. I mean, how many people will say to you, "So Raythe, you got these dragons, yeah, and they're gay dragons, yeah."
Right.
I don't know, kid. I
I
don't
don't know
know.
about that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
and if you went, "Oh, okay then," and never set pen to paper, then this would not be happening.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how just one little action can change someone's world,
Oh
or a
yeah.
bunch of people.
Well, my mother, who always because I was telling these stories, I'm serious. I was telling gay romance when I was like 11 to my mother. Don't ask. She was, don't ask. I was a weird little kid. And she actually, to her credit, because I'm 49, guys. So that was 30 some years ago. It was not cool to be, not that it's cool now, but you know what I mean? Like coming out as gay or being interested in something like this was considered incredibly weird, even weirder than it's considered now by like a long shot. My mother, to her credit, said, "Okay, you want to do this." And, before she died this past year, she was so proud of Raythe Rain. She told everybody. And she said, and she was proudest when she said that my daughter makes more at her writing than she does as an attorney. And I was like, Mom, but she had, and I know most people don't get that. And from their parents, that kind of acceptance, I still can't imagine the kind of radical acceptance she had considering everything. I'm still stunned by that when I think back on it. But I will tell you that I'm so glad she was supportive, because anything you're thinking of doing, you always think to yourself, well, I'm not good enough. Or why would it be me to succeed? Or nobody is going to want this. Don't listen to that voice. Just do it. Just do it. Seriously. That's all you need to do. I mean, it's really true. So I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing about all your writing and acting and everything endeavors. We all want to know about that.
Yeah, and celebrate them,
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
your successes and your failures.
Absolutely.
It is actually a lot of fun to go back and look at early work with friends around you and laugh at the choices you made and celebrate that maybe you were onto something, but that was done so badly.
Oh God, all the
There's
time. And
all the
some of it is
time.
like reserved on the internet for posterity.
Yeah.
Like it will never go away now.
Never goes away.
And think about this. The mistakes you're making, at least you're not making them in front of a camera, in front of a massive director, and it's all you and you're blowing $10,000 a minute. This is
Like, oh
it's
my God.
fun. And even then, I've done work and finished the shot and turned around and gone, well, that was crap. But the point is, it's not I am crap. It's that was crap. I can always do it again and be better.
And nobody's ever, you're never going to reach a point where everyone in the world loves what you do, no
No.
matter how good you are.
No,
It's just,
forget them.
yeah.
There's always miserable people out there that just only like what they like, and nothing else is going to be good enough for them, and just let them be that way.
Yeah. Find your people.
What's that lovely quote? The only one who has never failed is someone who has done nothing.
Right, has never really tried.
We never tried. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
But
that's
also,
so
all
true.
of you, keep your feet planted in reality. Do not become an actor because you think you're going to be famous in 5
What?
years.
What?
Yeah.
Damn it.
You're going to be a famous millionaire in 5 years. Look, bless. I hope
That's
that
celebrity.
happens for
That's
you.
not artistry or skill.
I hope that happens to you, but understand that the arts are a skill like any other industry, and you need to spend a lifetime learning them.
Oh, yeah.
It always amuses me that, people say to you, well, you'll never make any money in art. And yet tell me that art isn't the most important thing to almost anyone.
That's a bullshit story. The arts industry is third behind weapons and pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
If you think how much money people spend on music, film and television, books, all of these industries, they're massive. And it's this old, stupid thing you have to suffer for your art and get paid nothing.
Right.
That's a story told by producers.
Yeah, exactly. Who are the ones making all the
Sure,
money?
Who are
And
the
not
ones
just
making all the
not
money?
just producers, but it's a story that the government tells us.
Absolutely,
If
yeah.
I want to apply, let's say, for a Canada Council grant to produce something, I don't know what, I have to, I can't just send them my business plan where I'm going to show them that if they give me X number of dollars in the next 5 years, I'll double that. And I won't have to ask them for any more money because look at this great plan I have going forward, and I'm going to be able to hire other artists. And isn't it great? They don't want to see that. They actively are not interested. They don't care if one person sees it. They don't care if it is a piece of shit. They don't care if it's ever going to make money. All they care about is that you have a passion for it and that you can express that in essay format.
Wow. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, awesome. However, as a person who I'm just like, well, but why are you limiting? Why won't you give me the money? Because I mean, I'm not particularly passionate about this idea, but it's the arts, and I'll be able to offer people jobs, and it's sustainable. But now you're telling me I have to lie to you and say I'm passionate about it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Or that there's some sort of like greater meaning to it, when I'm like, no, there's a market for it, and it's the arts, and people need jobs. But they don't accept that. So it's a really like it's a self-perpetuating what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know anymore.
It's just a story. It's a
story. It's a story we tell ourselves. Yeah. Of course you can make money in the arts, but do it on your own terms. Don't expect other people to pay you. Make your own money.
And that is very true. Now that we do have the no gatekeepers thing, I mean, that it is something where you can really get yourself out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I still am. I mean, we did that Raythe Frame Insider where we, Hannah so kindly talked to us and talked to her contacts in the anime industry. And think about it, back in the day, there would have been no way that I could have ever talked to Hannah, and then Hannah talked to her friend, and this friend looked at our stuff, or that we'd ever have that kind of, just would never have gotten there. It would just never ever have gotten.
We never would have met. We don't live in the same country.
Mm-hmm.
We live in different time zones. We're not in the same industry.
Exactly.
Never would have happened. So connection, the world has changed, and our institutions have not changed with it yet.
No,
far behind.
Well, I always laugh when Kat and I are trying to, obviously, as always, market the podcast. Okay. Now it's, I am telling you, when Kat was going to these networks to try to, we're not saying there has to be a 1-to-1 mix, but I'm, somebody who is talking about potholders and listening to a potholder thing is not necessarily going to want to listen to, an
Yes.
Everdark gay romance podcast. And there's just not there has been some really cool audio plays done. I like the black tapes are amazing.
I
There's
love
been
the
a
black
bunch.
tapes, yeah.
There's just been a bunch that's been really, surprising and amazing. But there are not a ton of those because it's hard to do. It's expensive to do. And so we're
And to do
finding
well.
Yeah.
well, that's
Mm.
very true. So we were doing a true crime podcast. It would be easy, but they keep telling Kat, like, yeah, give us $25,000 and we'll put you on our podcast.
Oh
Like,
God.
no, no. And we do spend that kind of money over the year to get people in, but it's like, you just want us to throw this money away just to show how the industry, despite podcasts being both old and new, has not adapted to this,
Yeah.
this idea that it's a niche world out there and you've got to like be really serving who you're serving. They just haven't. It's been fascinating.
Well, I just love the fact that we've got worldwide people all over the world
Yeah.
are able to come here and share these stories and talk to each other and encourage each other and support each other
Yeah.
because of the shared love of telling stories, and specifically these stories, which in some parts of the world we would be considered criminals for making this
Yeah.
content and would go to
Cool.
prison.
Including places like Kenya, where we happen to be hitting, the top 25.
Which is
on
fascinating to think
iTunes.
about.
And that's a huge, it's just wild. And you just don't even get to hear from people, not all the time. I think, we know we have, 180,000 viewers on Spotify, and we have no idea who they are. We just get, we get some, at least we get people on YouTube, but we just get a couple thousand views, on YouTube. And then we think of that being our audience. That's not our audience because God knows we get people coming from all over. They're joining the site or buying stuff that we're like, where did you find us? Oh, I found you on, this podcast. I'm like, whoa, okay. It's wild and it's amazing. It's totally.
And if you're out there listening, come into the chat someday. You can use a fake name. We all are.
Yeah.
And say what you need to say. And don't worry about your ability to write or speak English good or any of those things.
Yes, it does not matter.
No,
It does not.
doesn't.
We will make fun of everyone evenly.
That's
And
but
This is
mostly
equal
Bruno.
opportunity. I'm teasing.
Teasing, yes.
So it's very
Yeah.
equal opportunity teasing. Here we go. What's a good platform to get a story out? KDP, Amazon KDP.
Yep.
And put it into Kindle Unlimited, where people don't have to individually pay for your work. They pay $9.95 a month, and they can read anybody that's in there. It's they get to try new authors out all the time. I recommend doing that. If you want to do fan fiction, go to AO3. I think that's the big one. I still cry about adultfanfiction.net being gone. That was the best. That was truthfully the everything no holds barred. I think AO3 is too. They don't allow any advertising so that they can put anything out. They really shouldn't, but they need server costs and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's what I would recommend. Well, this was fantastic, but I've had you guys on for 3 hours. You
Oh,
know
geez, I
that?
can't believe it's been that
wow.
long.
It's
Actually,
been 3 hours. I cannot justify teaching you more. Although I love Jamie, I feel like I never talked about you guys.
You've gone under the blanket again.
losing. You're under the blanket, Raythe.
Oh, I'm under the blanket.
Oh, you're back. You're back.
Oh no, God! Why does that keep happening?
It's Mew. Mew wants to be fed. It is playing with the cords.
I keep fussing with the oh God, the cord, because I'm playing with the cord, the microphone cord. Do not do that.
It's the tentacles.
I know.
It's always the tentacles.
Just so for you, Edward, I'm gonna have more tentacle stuff coming up.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Exactly.
I'll work on my voicing the tentacles.
Excellent. So yeah, we are going to wrap up this stream for this month. We will do another one, and I do have something. I have to reach out to you, Edward, again about what we're doing next.
Yeah.
But yes, we are. Just so you guys know, more to come. Absolutely more to come. And thank you all for coming, for being awesome, and for enjoying us with the potatoes and moist towelettes.
And goats.
And goats.
Tentacles.
Scream,
All
goat
the
scream.
goats.
Goat scream.
You're really all very easy to amuse, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No idea.
Definitely.
Very easily amused. Very easily amused.
Nothing wrong with being easy, just so long as you're not cheap.
Yes, exactly. Oh,
Ah, damn it.
oh
No,
my
no, Bruno,
God.
you're excellent value. You're
Yes.
really
Excellent value.
Oh my goodness. And just one last final plug for the new manga. If you get a chance to go
Isn't it
to-
fantastic?
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's out and there will be more to come with that. So and I still think that I want to pay you guys to do an animatic of it, so where we voice the scenes.
Oh,
So
that'd
we
be
have
so
it. That would be
fun.
fun. I think that would be way
That'd
fun.
be cool.
It's just
Yeah.
just
That'd
go
be
back
very
to
fun.
And all of you out there listening, have fun dreaming about what you'd like to see, hear, and do with us on these
Yes.
streams. And if you come up with an idea for a manga, well, start writing it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Also, if you guys have any ideas, any questions, any thoughts about what you'd like to discuss next time with our wonderful actors, please put it in the comments or email us.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Take
Bye,
care, you
guys.
guys.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Bye
Thanks for
all. Lots of
listening.
love. Till
Much.
next time.